Bulls Nation. Welcome in to CHGO Bulls Draft Day Live. Presented by Coors Light. Make the most of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door, Big David.
Your
Will.
door. Via what?
With Instacart. Go
That's
to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Basketball. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
I'm so tired.
What's going on, Bulls fans? I'm Peg, Bulls_Peg. This is my guy, Big Dave. Bam! BAWL Sports. My other guy, Will to Go Gottlieb. Will_Gottlieb. Our pal and producer on the controls, always the one and only Joey Spadis.
People producer.
Joey Spadis.
Cap.
Hanging out here at PB&J in the West Loop of Chicago, and it is NBA Draft Night. Is there anything better than that?
No.
Literally
Not
better
a
than
damn
that.
thing.
Nothing. I'm so
Literally
excited. I'm excited because this is what I call the night of the GOAT. This is when the GOAT shines. This is when everything comes down to this point. This man is ready. He is excited. He is hyped. This is his time. Tell him, GOAT, how excited and ready you are.
I'm excited. We've been prepping for this draft, looking at stats,
Yes.
watching film
Yes.
for months now. The season's been over for far too long. So I'm excited to see where they go with 11, maybe some trades,
Yeah.
sprinkle them in there. Who knows? I'm excited.
This is him at a 9. I'm telling you, this is him at a 9. Y'all don't even understand. He said sprinkle. He's
Shout out
excited.
to everybody here hanging out with us at PB&J in
Yeah.
West Loop, by the way. These people here hanging out with us are going to have a chance to walk home with an autographed B.J. Armstrong jersey, by the
Bruh.
way. We got a raffle. If you don't have one yet, make sure you get yourself a raffle ticket. Find our girl Emma over there or find Jake.
What's up, Emma?
We are raffling
What's up,
off a B.J. Armstrong autographed jersey. Compliments of our friends at the Collector's Cave.
Yeah.
Check out their awesome variety of memorabilia at makesigningsfunagain.com or email them at info@thecollectorcave.com.
So where do we go? I'm sorry. What do you want to get into first? There's a lot of things to discuss and get into. So.
Let's start with the trades from earlier today and last night.
Okay,
Can we
let's
talk about
do it.
Mikal Bridges going for 5 first-round picks?
Can we not? Can we not do
In a
that? I would
second.
rather not talk about that after the Giddey Caruso trade. Thank you very
Were you
much.
expecting to get picks back for Caruso?
Really? That's the thing? That sounds logical,
You
man.
just immediately killed my draft boner, Will. Jesus
Take a
Christ.
swig of course.
Remember that chill mindset right after you sip that Coors Light. But yeah, that was crazy. And what it showed me though was the Knicks are really ready. They're going in, and they're
here.
like, we are trying to win. We're not playing around. They then signed an OG Anunoby, to the big contract. I think $212 million, I believe, for 5 years. So signing him to that, and then getting Mikal Bridges, that defense is nice.
OG's contract is bigger than Zach LaVine's was.
Wow.
Which is crazy. But, they made such a big swing, giving up all of their future draft capital in order to get a guy like Mikal Bridges, who's never been an all-star.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were kind of stunned by the amount of picks that they gave up for a guy who's like a very good player.
Sure.
He's not like a max player. He's not like a number one on a great team, but the fit is there, obviously. The relationship is
Right.
there. The friendship is there with the
Right.
Villanova boys. So it's exciting. And I think also it kind of speaks to how important it is to get very high-level players on good contracts. There's
Yeah.
a reason why the Bulls are having trouble getting off of Zach LaVine and why a guy like Mikal Bridges can command 5 first-round picks. It's a $20 million difference in their deals. And that goes a long way when you're team building. It allows you to give a guy like OG Anunoby that max deal.
I think my favorite part of the Bridges trade is that somebody, some NBA internet sleuth did some diving and found a clip of Stephen A. on First Take in 2016
Okay.
when that Villanova team was making their way through
Yeah,
the tourney.
yeah, 1-2
and Stephen
titles,
A.
yeah.
saying, not one of these Villanova players is an NBA-level talent. Not a single one.
And now they're all in the
meanwhile,
Knicks.
Stephen A. is going nuts. So I'm like, oh my God, we got Bridges too.
The
Time
real
changes.
question is, assuming they play a center, how is Tibbs going to play Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, and OG Anunoby
Yeah.
in 4 positions, each for 48 minutes? I don't know how that's
great
gonna
question.
happen.
And most importantly-
Math is going to be math on that one.
Most importantly,
Easily, I think is the answer.
always never forget the Knicks can go to hell. Like, let's
Oh,
also
yeah.
state that, please.
Oh,
Yes.
for sure.
I have no love in my heart for the New York Knicks.
I
Please
hope
understand.
John Starks has aggressive diarrhea as we speak.
Just the worst. Can't stand it. But a good move is a good move. And it's funny, Will, because I think it's a good move strictly because this says we want to win. Like, they gave up a ton, to get them, but that's what you want to do when you're like, this is exactly we want to move forward. We know they could be in the top 2. They were the number 2 seed. So they're good enough even without him to be that. But now with him, this is for the playoffs, and this is strictly for Boston.
And I think more moves are coming with them. Like, they are now going to be in a bit of a bind bringing back Hartenstein, who was fantastic for them in the playoffs. They've got Julius Randle still, who did not play in the playoffs, making $30 million. They've got Mitchell Robinson, who was injured a lot last year, making $15 million. Could they package those guys into another player and really go just all in on this team, which I think deserves it. I mean, they were, until they really ran out of gas, like they were the second best team in the East.
They ran out of gas. I'm shocked.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you play 48 minutes ago.
Oh, I'm shocked. Injuries? Really?
And so the one that just happened, I don't know, about an hour or so ago, the Wizards, or Wizards, as we prefer to call them, because no one takes them seriously, sending Denny Avdia to Portland for Brogdon and some draft compensation.
Yeah.
I don't have any strong reaction to that trade, honestly. I'm just like, okay, trash team making a trade with a trash team.
Yeah.
You always keep one close eye on Portland as a Bulls fan because you know about that pick that they still owe us from that Lowry and DJJ, sign and trade situation from a few years ago that has not yet conveyed. Will turn into a second-round pick in 2028 if it doesn't convey until then, lottery protected. But, I mean, what do you think the motivation was on either side of that trade, Will?
I mean, the Wizards, for them, it's about collecting assets. They are in a rebuild. They were not really able to get much for Bradley Beal. And so this past year, obviously they get the number 2 pick, but they didn't have a lot else to add there. They do also have 26, which I think they acquired in a separate deal. But now they have 14, and for them, it's just like they really are starting from scratch. I think what the Bulls are trying to do is like start with a collection of young players and move from there. The Wizards, much like the Nets, they are starting over. They're getting picks, and they did, I think, pretty well for themselves. Denny Avdia, really solid forward. He's making like $12 million a year, so it's a really good contract for him. And he fits the timeline that the Blazers are working on. So what's interesting there to me, though, is, I mean, they seem like they obviously are not going to necessarily like go for a championship this year.
Sure.
But this is a team that looks like they're kind of starting to kickstart things a little bit. You bring in another wing. You've got Scoot. You've got Shaedon Sharp. You've got Anthony Simons. Maybe they move him. You've got Ayton. You've got some good young players. Now you start to add to that core, and all of a sudden maybe you do start to make a push for the play-in, for the playoffs in a year or two, and then maybe the Bulls will finally get that pick.
Yeah, they're clearly going young. I mean, nobody you mentioned is over the age of 25. So they're clearly going to be a young team going in, and they understand where they are in the West. And it's always good to know yourself, just in life in general. Good to know yourself so you know how to operate, you know how to move. So, yeah. But like you said, Matt, just 2 trash teams doing trash team things, making moves and things like that. But, yeah, it's just setting themselves up for the future, it just feels like.
Shout out to everybody hanging out with us on YouTube as well on that CHGO Sports channel. Hit that like button if you're hanging out with us. Shout out to our buddy Kyle Webbs, who I see in the comments. Plenty of people wondering about whether or not the Bulls might get a little squirrely tonight. MG Blazer 77 asks over 0.5 trades for the Bulls tonight. We have heard plenty of reports and rumors about the Bulls being a team that might be interested in trading up in this draft. God help us all. 4 different names. We've heard from a few different people that Donovan Clingan is a name the Bulls are interested in trading up for. So are the Memphis Grizzlies. We've heard the Bulls might be interested in trading up for Matas Buzelis, who has those Chicago ties, G League Ignite prospect. We've also heard, a little less frequently, I think, than the trade up, that this scenario might exist that the Bulls could be interested in trading down tonight. I believe the Athletics last mock draft that dropped earlier today had them trading down to 17 with the Lakers for a player and a little bit of extra draft capital trading down out of 11. Personal preference for both of y'all, trade up, trade down, stay at 11. Here's my quick, simple answer. Stay at 11 or trade down. For the love of God, do not give up assets to trade up in this draft, or I will throw this table.
I'd like to see that, to be honest with you. The strength of Matt Peck, the beer muscles are strong.
The strength of anger.
The strength, yes, it flows through him.
I do arm workouts every day, buddy.
He's so strong. But I want to see them kind of stay where they are and just choose someone and just pick them. Because the kind of draft this is, even if you're trading down, it's still taking that risk to get a player. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's anybody in this draft that's just really looking at you like, oh, man, I love him. Oh, man, I really want this guy. And if he is like that, you're not trading down to get him. You're trading up to get that guy.
No, I'm aligned with you, Dave. I think 11, they're going to get a good player. I really like Devin Carter, and I really like Ron Holland, and I think one or both of them will be available. So, look, this draft, I know people want to say it's a bad draft. I think that's true with, like, the first and second pick. There's not a superstar player at the top. But after that, I think there's a lot of good talent. And I think there's 10 teams drafting in front of you. You let them pick who they want, and you just take the best player available.
Yeah.
I think Devin Carter and Ron Holland could both be there. And I think both those guys are like guys that can help you today.
Yeah.
They play good defense. I think Devin Carter's a little bit more NBA ready, but also good building blocks and guys you want to build with moving forward as they kind of enter this new era here with Josh Giddey.
Yeah, and they're in a position where they need help at everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I liked how you talked about even with Devin Carter, you're not afraid to go after a guard, even though they are like guard heavy. You still have no problem going and doing that. And I think getting a guard, though, also really truly signals the end of certain players' careers here. I'm talking about Lonzo Ball. Like, you're not going to keep him and continue to stockpile guards on your team while he's rehabbing, talking about he's going to be playing. So I think he's going to be out of here. They clearly need a big because they're missing one, and I think teams are going to be going after Drummond. I keep hearing his name mentioned as far as the Knicks are concerned.
Yep.
They might make a run at him because they don't want to pay Hartenstein that money, which he probably get like, $20 million or something like that. But yeah, just whoever you feel like is there at 11 that is the best player available, that's who the Bulls should take. You need help at the wing. You need help at the center position. You need help at the guard position. You need defense. You need shooting. You need so many different things that I'm just like, who's there and who's the best one there to do those things that you like? And just have the conviction to take the player that you truly, truly like and the one that you truly want. And I will be completely comfortable with it unless it's something truly, truly ridiculous, and then I'll be flipping tables with Matt.
And here's the thing. I mean, Ricky said it best on our show yesterday. They have all these needs from size and shooting and defense and all that stuff, but they really just need a star player.
Yeah.
And you don't get that by drafting for position. You got to swing for talent. You got to swing for upside. And, I think some teams, like in this draft, are going to be going a little bit safer because they feel better about a guy's floor than ceiling, and so I think that leaves some high upside swings. And here's a great example of it. The pick is in the first pick in the NBA draft.
There it is.
With
There
the Hawks,
it is.
Zachary.
People's draft boards for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What do you guys like? Do you think that the fact that Alex Sarr, for whatever reason, he spoke on it the other day. I'm listening to the people around me, the people I trust, my management team, refusing to even engage in conversation with the Atlanta Hawks, who have the number one pick. Like,
wow.
I don't want you.
Yeah.
Go away.
Yeah.
Don't draft me. Pulling the old Eli Manning.
Yeah.
I mean, did Atlanta love Zachary Rizachet, or did Atlanta just be like a spurned lover, be like, okay, well, I guess we'll take him because we wanted Sarr, but he doesn't want us?
No, I think it was exactly that because even Sarr was everywhere as far as like being number one on any big board I was looking at, including Will's. It was always going to be Sarr going to the Hawks, but it doesn't matter who you want to date. If she don't want to date you, it ain't going to happen, right? You go get somebody else. So that's what they did. They went and got Rizachet, good defender. I think he can help them. They always had a ton of wings and stuff like that on their team. But, yeah, they just took the best player available because the one that truly was available to him, he don't want to be with you.
And I think that's the thing about this draft. Like, there isn't a true superstar upside player at number one. So what do? You try to find the player who best fits what you want to build. And Rizachet is like a perfect role player. He's 6'10". He can shoot it.
Yeah.
He's a good defender. Like, that's the kind of team that no matter what direction you go, you need a guy like that.
True.
And so this, I think, gives them flexibility to make other decisions. They're not having to be forced to, like Ricky was saying yesterday, and I agree. The Bulls now have to make decisions based on Josh Giddey. They just traded a huge asset for him. The Hawks don't have to do that. They can move DeJounte Murray or they don't have to. They can move Trae Young or they don't have to because Rizachet fits with both of those guys. So he's not like the sexiest high ceiling superstar upside kind of swing. But I think in this draft, like, you do have to evaluate somebody whose floor you're confident in compared to a ceiling that you want to take a swing on. And I think for the Hawks, it just seems like they were more interested in getting a guy they know could be a contributor.
Shout out to our guy South Garcon in the comments who said horrendous pick. Also shout out to our boy Clem, aka French Bulls TV, in the comments who said French guy first last year, French guy first and second this year. We good. Somewhere Tony Parker is smiling. Apparently, the nation of France is just slowly but surely taking over the entire NBA. Nikola Jokic in Serbia have something to say about
just
that.
Just a little bit. What I mean? Little big thing.
Who else has some mighty French blood in them?
Who's this?
Come on now.
The mighty French blood. Well done, sir.
Well
done, sir. Well done.
I believe we have our Washington Wizards pick in. Is that correct, Joe?
Yes, we do.
The Washington Wizards have their.
I believe the Washington Wizards have a pick in at number 2. It is Alex Sarr going to the Washington Wizards.
Okay, hitting up the Wizards on it.
What do you make of Sarr's game? Because for a long time he was sort of consensus number one, Will, but the hot new topic of Reza Shea vaults him to number one. Do you think the Wizards just kind of got a steal because Sarr should have been the undisputed number one? Because people weren't talking about an undisputed number one in this draft like Wemby last year.
Yeah, I don't think Sarr would have gone first in any of the last 5 drafts, but he would have been my number one guy in this draft. I think his upside as a defender, super long, super athletic, can grab and go, switchable, good rim protector. I mean, he's going to come in and be like a very, very high-level defensive 4 right away. And I think the offense is a bit of theoretical at this point. Like, he has some tools to be able to put the ball on the floor and create for himself. He can get out in transition. The shot, it's not great, but there's some hope, I think, for him to be able to shoot the ball at a higher level. He was just under 30% on threes last year in the NBL. So, I think 7 feet tall, 37-inch vertical. He can really move. He can switch. Like, he's going to be a very high-level defensive player.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be able to catch lobs. But I think the Wizards, as we talked about, they have to take some swings.
Yeah.
And Sarr, he's not like a sure thing by any means, but I think he was the safest for me upside play in this draft, and that's why I would have taken him number one overall.
Yeah. And he's in the right place because he's going to get plenty of opportunity to work on that offense. Like, he's going to get nothing but tick. You know what I mean? Playing for them.
Did you see what Jordan Poole did last season?
Oh, my God. The man aged 2 years.
Man.
Like, for real, man. And Jordan Poole just be happy to see somebody else come and be on the team that he can pass the ball to and help him some kind of way. But all the flaws that you just mentioned, Will, he is going to definitely have an opportunity to work on all of them because they're going to use him in every way they could possibly can. Again, they just let go of Ivy, man. Like, who else is there for them to help? You know what I mean?
And they're probably going to move Kuzma.
Right.
They're probably going to be okay with letting Tyus Jones go.
Right.
But that's the other thing about Sarr is they can build around him no matter what direction they go. I think he's got to hit. The shooting has to be there.
Sure.
But I think he's just the kind of player that you're going to need that kind of upside. He can catch lobs. He can set screens. He can face up. There's just a lot that I think he will be able to do at the NBA level. He's great size, great athlete. So I'm really excited about him. And I think the Wizards just needed. They were really bad this year, right? I think the Pistons got the headlines because of the losing streak, but the Wizards were right there with them all year at the bottom of the league, and they needed a guy. They don't have their Kate Cunningham, let alone Jaden Ivey or Asar Thompson or Jalen Duren.
Yeah.
They needed a guy to start to move forward with. I don't know if he's going to be the best player on a great team ever, but he can be one of the best players on a great team.
Oh, without a doubt. He can do that, man. And hopefully the Czar's got their guy.
So while the broadcast is catching up with Alex Sarr, taking the stage now with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, why don't we shout out some of our friends and sponsors?
Oh, it's sponsor time?
I feel like it's a great time to do that, Dave. While we're doing that, if you're hanging out with us on YouTube, 1, we appreciate you. We love you. 2, hit that like button if you haven't done it yet. Do it for Troll Joe, who's working his tail off over here.
Hey, you ain't see, this is the only time Jim got excited as soon as you said ad time.
Oh, yeah?
He looked over and started drooling a little bit.
Jimmy
He was
ears
like,
perking
what? What? We're going to read some ads? Yes, we're reading some
A
ads.
little prairie dog popping out of his hole. Is it ad time?
It's ad time.
It's ad time.
And we started with my guy, Ray. Ray CDJR. Because when it comes to finding your next vehicle, make CDJR your number one draft pick. Because this June, you can shop Chryslers, Dodgers, Jeeps, and Rams at Ray CDJR in Fox Lake. And during the Make This the Summer event, find the perfect vehicle and score huge savings as well. For a limited time, lease the new 2024 Jeep Wrangler Willys. It's yours, Will Gottlieb. 4xE for only $419 a month. Or shop over $125 price under $20,000. That's a damn good deal. Let the amazing team at Ray CDJR help you land the perfect vehicle with the perfect price, because that Ray's price promise, y'all, the numbers you're hearing will be the same prices you can expect to shop in-store and online. That's because Ray's price promise means no price changing, no add-ons, and no hidden fees ever. Since they prioritize affordability, their customers hurry into Ray CDJR today and shop one of Chicago's area's largest inventories, then drive home with more money in your hip pocket than you expect. That rhymed. I'm awesome. So, if you're in the market for a new vehicle, then you have to check out the team at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, because they are the only team that we recommend. Visit them today on Route 12 in Fox Lake. And for more information, go to Ray CDJR in Fox Lake or raycdjr.com, because they are serving the community since 1963.
a long time. It's a long. Damn, I'm good. Man, I'm tired of being right. Our draft show tonight also brought to you by our friends at PrizePicks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with over 5 million active members. PrizePicks is the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. Unlike other apps on PrizePicks, it's just you against the numbers. No bots, no weirdos in their basement with their spreadsheets and their algorithms. No, it's just you using your own brain and watching a game that you're watching anyway. All you have to do is pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 different player stat projections. Watch the winnings roll in. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the PrizePicks community today. We are all sad that the NBA season is officially over.
True.
Congrats to Boston. But it's okay, because if you're a hoops junkie, a true hoops junkie, that action doesn't stop on PrizePicks. Women's basketball is still heating up.
Yes.
The stars like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Putting up all kinds of stats every other day.
Yeah.
Looking to make names for themselves in the WNBA. PrizePicks, you can cash in on those incredible performances and win up to 100 times your cash watching Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky ball out. Shout out to her for that WNBA rookie record of double-doubles.
Balling out, man.
8 straight double-doubles.
She's been awesome, bro.
Put up 25 and 16 on Sunday.
She's been special.
You could have been making money off of Angel Reese being awesome at basketball if you had just signed up for a PrizePicks account already. Download that PrizePicks app today. Use promo code CHGO for a first-time deposit match up to $100. That's code CHGO for a first-time deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks, pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
So while we were in break, the third pick came in as a team that could maybe trade back,
down, yeah.
As many teams were looking to climb up for Donovan Clingan. That is not who went number 3.
Okay.
Number 3, the third overall pick, was your guy, Reed Sheppard. So I'll let you take it away and say why you like him so much.
Basketball Joey is my guy.
Basketball
All right?
Joey.
Basketball Joey, a.k.a. Reed Sheppard, is my guy. A straight-up goon. I mean, that's the bottom line of it. A starting point guard at Kentucky doing his thing. Over 50% from the three-point line is the sexiest thing that you see when you look at his stats right there. But it's the confidence that he plays with. And, of course, Will, you know the word. The point guardsmanship of young Reed Sheppard.
It's been a minute since we heard that.
That's just been itching at the back of your head all night.
Had to bring it out. Basketball Joey makes me bring it out. But, yes, he is good. He is my favorite player in the draft, actually. But, yeah, man, the only flaw for him I see is his height. Like, everything else he's a dog for, you know? If you say he can't do something, can't play the defense, can't shoot the ball, he's going to prove you wrong, man. He is that kind of basketball crazy, and that's why I like him so damn much.
And I just love the fit in Houston because
Look
you
at
mentioned
Joey
the
Spat
size.
his haircut. Look at it.
He is a little bit on the shorter side. He's 6'1" without shoes, 6'1.5" maybe.
Yeah.
Just really, really elite off-ball defender. He gets in passing lanes. He generates a ton of steals and blocks. And when you put him next to a guy like Amen Thompson, like that backcourt is just going to be absolutely incredibly electric on both ends of the floor.
Crazy how young he wore that same suit to his bar mitzvah yesterday.
Dude, you can't tell me he and Joey are not in the same fraternity. You can't tell me this, man.
They are
Look
related.
at them, dog. They're related.
In some way, Joey and Reed Sheppard are related.
Basketball Joey is on the screen doing his thing, man. He's going to be good. He's going to be good.
Agree or disagree, yeah. I know what you said, Will, that people were talking about Rockets as maybe a team looking to trade down out of that number 3 spot. They didn't end up doing so. They kept the pick. They took Reed Sheppard. But whether it was them trading down or using the pick themselves, I feel like first 3, as much as you could say chalk in this weird, unidentifiable draft class, is pretty chalk.
Yep.
Reza Shea and Sarr and Sheppard, the first 3 off the board, I think most people had that.
Yeah, that was pretty much it for all the mock drafts that we looked at. ESPN, Bleacher Report, The Ringer, No Ceilings Athletic, Yahoo, and Tankathon all had those 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense. But like for me, I think Reed has a chance to be a really special player. I think he's probably my favorite player in this draft. Not the guy I necessarily would have taken first overall, but I just, especially in that Rockets context, when you put the athletes that they have, Tari Eason, Cam Whitmore, just Jalen Green, Amen Thompson, they've got so many guys that I think can make up for the areas of his game where he does struggle. And then 52% three-point shooter. It's just absolutely incredible on that in the court. Great, smart decision maker. I think he's going to be able to play in pick and roll. And then we'll see what happens with Şengün and whether they want to continue to build around him. I know that was part of the speculation. Are they going to make a move for a Kevin Durant with draft picks and with a Şengün? But I just think he's a great building block with the rest of what they've got going on there. And as they're showing on the screen, 42-inch max.
Come
vertical.
on, man. He got it all, bro. Drink that in. It's always smooth going down. He's good, man. He's good. He's going to be
Woody Harrelson would be impressed.
He's good.
Shout out to our guy, Charlie the Bacon Guy, who I saw is hanging out with us in the comments, along with Sydney the Bacon Gal, one of our other wonderful sponsors. Shout out to Austin Moore, who threw us a $10 super chat saying, my only ask is AK does not make headlines for the wrong reasons tonight. Well, Austin, let me tell you, brace yourself. Austin said we've suffered enough. Also, shout out to the diehards that showed up in person tonight. Shout out to everybody out there. The CHGO Bulls Nation hanging out with us. People in the chat who couldn't be here tonight are throwing y'all some love. I mean, it's draft night. It's draft night. We're here with our fellows. Oh, yeah, Brother Dave's here. What do you think, Brother Dave wouldn't show up for this?
Oh, of course, I know he's going to be. I just didn't see him, man. Shout out to you, sir.
Any chance Brother Dave has to get to be around Big Dave is a chance that Brother Dave takes.
Well, see, he's got to go with him, too. See, he's getting the whole trifecta. I don't think he's hung out with him, but he's gotten all three. This might be the first time. We'll ask him, though.
I think there may have been one Bears tailgate back in the day. One CHGO Bears tailgate.
Maybe.
Way back when.
Of the GOAT, yeah.
So, speaking of AK not making headlines for the wrong reasons, gentlemen, shout out again to Austin. Okay, so first three chalk. Still a lot of interesting names on the board, all of whom have been connected to the Bulls in one way or another.
Yeah.
Who is that one player who you are hoping and crossing all of your crossable fingers falls to 11?
Wow, that's a good question. I mean, well, the one I wanted just went, so I was hoping he would fall, but he didn't. I don't have anyone I love enough to say I hope he falls to 11 and I really want this guy. I mean, I could make an argument for all of them, to be honest with you. Clingan, hope Clingan gets it.
Dan says Clingan in the comments.
He's great.
Luis says connect.
You know, I like Buzelis. I'll take him too. Carter's, fine. All of that. Dillingham, Holland, those guys are still out there. Those are good players. But it's Khalil Ware.
We got a lot of Khalil Ware in the comments coming through.
I know Ware gets a lot of love for that too. So yeah, if Ware, you know what? I'll say that. If Ware is there and he falls, then I'm be happy, okay, walking away with that kind of center. But I'm okay with walking away a big man in this, Will, because it just seems so big man heavy right here at the top.
Yeah, I think that's fine. One of the guys I really liked was Stephon Castle. I think he's just a player who, he just kind of reminds me of Jimmy Butler, like a young Jimmy Butler.
Ah, there it is.
Careful.
We get it now.
Careful with the hearts of these Bulls fans.
That kind of player. But I think Ron Holland would be a great, they just need wings, I think. We just have so many guards on the roster, and I think they need to add some playmaking upside. And I think that if that comes in the form of bigger wings, that's a good thing that you want to build around those kind of players.
Well, sorry to burst your bubble, Goat, but the pick is in for the. And it is Stephon Castle going to San Antone. I saw a lot of mock drafts with the Spurs taking Castle at 4.
Yeah.
I saw him drop in a handful of different mocks, but for the most part, from the get-go with this draft class, I saw Castle as a top 5 pick more often than I did not see him as a top 5 pick.
Interesting. Go talk about his fit, though, with the Spurs, what he can bring to them and what he can do for Wembanyama, because that's who you're drafting for.
So he is just a really interesting prospect, super athletic, 6'5", 6'6", wing, good wingspan, great vertical, 37 inches. And he played in a specific role on UConn this past year, which I think was really a promising sign. I know he said at multiple points that he wants to be a point guard, but to be able to be an off-ball guy and still have success when you are not a shooter, that tells me that he is going to find a way to win. And so you put him in a situation with Wembanyama, you've got Devin Vassell there, you've got Keldon Johnson, Sohan. I think they're just building an infrastructure that can keep everything in front, and then even if something happens, you get Wemby back there, and then they'll try to develop him as a point guard. I think that's going to be, they've done that with Vassell, they've done it with Sohan, where they want to put the ball in those guys' hands to see if they can create. And so we'll see if he gets to that point. There's definitely some questions about that, and if that doesn't happen and he remains a poor shooter, how does that work? But I just think you bet on a guy with those kind of tools, with that kind of upside, and that kind of character. I mean, he seems like a guy who's going to win basketball games.
And they're going to need that, definitely. So, yeah, and he's got that heart and that motor that I love so much as well. He really wants to win, man. And, I mean, coming from UConn, you have nothing but that in you already, being that kind of guy, being that kind of player. So I think he fits in well. And, again, Greg Popovich always will be a part of this, so he'll be learning from one of the best to ever do it. So playing with Wembanyama is going to make a lot of things easy for him, so the defense will be much easier for him where he can focus on doing what he does best, and that's get to the rim, man. He can actually score. He can go.
And the other thing is they have another pick in the top 10.
Yes.
They're drafting 8, so maybe you take a player who you already know you're going to get an NBA-ready impact right away in a certain department. He's going to come in and defend at a really high level. Now maybe that allows them to take a swing on upside on the offensive end in a Dillingham or a Topic, with their 8th pick to see if they can just get that point guard of the future in there, because I think that's still kind of the biggest area of need for that roster.
True indeed.
Meanwhile, speaking of that championship pedigree you were mentioning, Dave, a lot of people in the comments are talking about Donovan Clingan and how he is still on the board. Austin saying Clingan would be the ultimate impossible steal. Dysfunctional saying Clingan getting closer. Illini McG saying, I like Clingan, but he never drops to 11. Just Joe, Clingan is dropping. I think we're going to trade up. Okay. Dysfunctional saying, hoping Clingan. Don't trade up for him.
Yeah, don't do it.
If he falls to you at 11,
cool.
Maybe, okay, say, wow, we did not expect Donovan Clingan to fall all the way to 11. He's here for us. We would like to add some size to this roster. Sure. Fine.
Let me ask you this, Matt. Is there a price where you would feel comfortable moving up?
Depends on the player I'm getting back.
For Clingan.
To be honest.
For Clingan.
Yeah, for Clingan. It depends on the player I'm getting back, because it's not going to just be the picks. It's going to have to be a player.
Let's say it's
I'll
11
I'll
plus
gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. That is what I'm willing to give up to move up in this draft class.
No cheese?
Would you do?
I mean, it's
would you
got to have cheese on it.
11 and the Portland Trailblazers lottery protected pick to move up
Sure, fine.
to 5 to get Clingan.
Sure.
Yeah.
I feel like that cost is just so low because I just don't believe that's going to be a first-round pick.
It's a low cost, yeah. That's a low cost.
To me, I'm just not sure that
just
Clingan is
shot
my
at the
guy.
Blazers
I just don't know if
You don't believe in their quick turnaround and playoff hopes?
That under 25
Denny,
squad,
between now
baby.
and 2028?
They call him Denny Average for a reason.
Hey, shout out C-Red Fred. What a great nickname, man. Seriously. No, I like Castle with them, man. I'm interested to see what they do at 8 then. Like, do you think that they would go get some exercise even though they got Wemby?
I think Topic or Dillingham.
I was going to say Topic. Like,
Makes a lot of
Topic
sense.
has Spurs written all over him. And the team that, like, they'll be like, yeah, if he's got to rehab a year.
The one thing I'll say, this is a very weird observation I made, but when I was putting together my consensus mock draft, I was going through each pick in every single player, in every single like mainstream draft board.
Okay.
And ESPN, Bleacher Report, The Ringer, and Yahoo, I want to say, all had Juan Nunez, point guard out of Spain, going 35th to the Spurs. So I wonder if there's anything to that.
Interesting. Look at Castle. He's ready.
I mean, the Spurs are always looking for those international prospects.
Athletic,
always.
Ringer,
Well, that's
PR,
true.
and ESPN.
That's very true. That's very, very true. They always looking for that kind of guy. And ESPN has Clingan as their best available, with Buzelis as their second best, and Dalton Connect as the third. Now, that's a name that we talked about, we were talking with Strict earlier about, Matt. Just how weird it's been for me, at least to see him be mentioned like in the top 10 when the draft first kind of started. But as it kind of went on, just saw him fall to the top 15, just outside, or inside the top 20.
And not a name you've heard connected to the Bulls all that much.
No. Like, I've heard it connect to Memphis, those kind of squads like that, but nothing connected to the Bulls. But you see where he would fit with the Bulls because, again, they need shooting bad. They need it. So
what are you talking about? Alex Caruso was our best three-point shooter this season. Oh, wait, crap, he's gone.
That's depressing. That he was your best shooter. It's not a good thing. But,
What do you guys think the Pistons do here at 5?
Well, they're the Pistons, so probably something dumb. What kind of dumb? What brand of dumb? I don't know.
What brand of dumb? Yes. What brand of dumb are you today, sir?
No, I say that because I'm honestly just secretly a little bit jealous that they have one of the Thompson brothers. Like,
yeah, I love. Oh man, and I hope
last year's
he's doing
draft
better.
class when they both went off the board, I was like,
I was
damn
sick.
it, I want one.
I was sick.
I want one.
I didn't want that at all to happen for them, but they got him. And made some major changes also in their front office. Getting rid of Monty Williams.
Yep.
DeRozan Langdon, coming on board. Mm-hmm. They are using all of their clock, by the way.
I see you Clingan.
90 seconds left for the Pistons on the clock
This,
right
to
now.
me, is a
Still
trade-up
nobody
spot.
tweeting about who the Pistons are taking.
I think teams are.
the pick
Oh
is
wow!
in
The
now.
pick is
Here we
in.
go.
Pick is in.
You gotta
Pick is
give me a
in.
minute. You gotta give me a minute.
Oh, wow.
You gotta
well,
you gotta give me a minute here.
Give Joey a minute. Take your time, sir. Take your time. Too busy
pick
putting
is
together videos
in.
of basketball. Joey.
I was going to say that this felt like a possibility for a trade-up where a team that wanted to jump the Portland Trailblazers at 7 in order to get Donovan Clingan, and it appears that is not the case.
Interesting. I'm curious now. But yeah, you ready?
Are we allowed
Thumbs
to
up,
say
Joe? All right.
And Pistons are keeping their pick and using it to select Ron Holland.
Ooh.
A name that a lot of Bulls fans were hoping would somehow make its way to 11. A guy that we talked about a lot over the last couple of weeks. That G League prospect who is that sort of toolsy wing kind of player.
Yeah.
Plug and play right away as a multi-positional defensive player.
Yeah.
A lot that you like about his athleticism and aggression on the offensive end. Maybe has some upside as a shooter. This is a name that a lot of people wanted to fall, including our guy Ricky O'Donnell, who we had with us on yesterday's show.
Yeah.
Sadly, Ron Holland off the board.
Tremendous athlete.
Yeah.
Struggled in the G League Ignite system this year, which they won like 3 games. So to be expected. But this guy is, I mean, he was the #1 ranked player for a long period of time until he got injured. He's going to be a very impactful defensive player from day one, and then you hope that he can kind of develop with the ball in his hands to where he's creating some offense for you, and he can be that big wing 3-and-D creation upside player. And I think what's interesting about this is you look at what the Pistons are doing with their new GM here, and they're not bringing in shooting to complement Cade Cunningham and the core that they already have. They're still swinging for upside, and I think that's a really interesting and maybe telling about what the rest of their plans are going to be moving forward. We obviously had talked a lot about the Pistons as the Zach LaVine destination. That seems like it's probably not going to be the case if they are drafting a guy like Ron Holland.
Yeah, one thing I do like about these young guys in this draft is you hear a lot of defense-first guys coming out in this one, and I appreciate that. And Holland's one of them. But Holland, the ball was in his hands a lot, with the G League Ignite, so he got to showcase a lot of what he did, and you saw his flaws a lot too. But he did have that opportunity to show just how smooth he can be as well when he's playing. But yeah, defensively, he's just outstanding there. But he's got things to work on for sure on the offensive end.
He was a guy that was really sliding down mocks. I mean, he worked out for the Lakers at 17.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit surprising to see him jump into the top 5. But he was #4 on my board. I'm really high on him, and I think he's the kind of player that can be really good if he hits. But the risk is there for sure. I'm not discounting that.
For sure, man. We'll see.
Meanwhile, while we were just talking about Donovan Clingan, who's still on the board a minute ago, Woj just tweeted another team working to move up to secure Donovan Clingan, according to ESPN sources, the Portland Trailblazers.
That's surprising to me. I don't feel like they need to move up now. I felt like,
interesting.
Unless the Hornets are willing to move back, where a team can jump the Blazers. I mean, they've got Mark Williams, who I really like, and maybe he's not their franchise guy. Maybe they do prefer a Donovan Clingan, but just a little bit surprising to hear them potentially looking to move up when they may not need to.
Yeah. No, I wanted chaos tonight. This is what I wanted. This is what I predicted. I wanted.
This is really the first
chaos
shakeup
tonight. Yeah. I thought after the 3rd pick with Reed Sheppard, that's when you were going to start kind of feeling and seeing those things.
Oh, we got a trade.
But we got a trade.
Do we have a trade?
We got one in.
Do we have a trade, Joseph?
Jake Fisher reporting that the Charlotte Hornets trading back, excuse me.
I was going to say, Charlotte's at 6.
Yeah.
So Memphis trading up to 6 from 9.
Interesting.
That's got to be.
Hasn't been reported, but I'm guessing it's Clingan.
That's got to be Clingan, right?
Yeah.
Because it was previously reported earlier this week that the Grizzlies and the Bulls were 2 teams looking to trade up for Donovan Clingan.
Yeah.
Thank God it's not us. But you go Grizzlies, I guess.
That's interesting, man. That's interesting. That's a little surprising.
So,
but
yeah, pick is not in yet.
If that is the pick.
You're talking Clingan.
Clingan to Memphis. I mean, they had an off year last year. Jod barely played.
Yeah.
He had the suspension, then the injury. But, they moved on from Steven Adams, and I think that really, he was injured, but, it was kind of his time to move on anyway.
Yeah.
But his ability to screen and play the 5, allowing Jaren Jackson to be a little bit more perimeter-oriented, be a little bit more of a help defender, protect the rim. I think that makes a lot of sense. And then obviously the rebounding element there. That's something that Jaren kind of struggles with. And so you bring in a fortifying anchor that can play next to those guys. And by the way, he only played 22 minutes a game at the college level. So this is not going to be a situation where he needs to play 36 minutes because you do want still Jaren to play at the 5. So I love this fit. I think it's a really smart play for them to get that that style of player, that archetype, because I think they really need it if they are going to make a deep playoff run, which I fully expect them to do now with everybody healthy and back next year.
Yeah, and they were struggling in that realm, especially when they lost Tillman as well, and they lost our guy to injury. Aquaman, too, along with Joe Canoa. I forget his name.
Steven Adams.
Steven Adams, yes. When they lost him as well, like that put a real dent, you know what I'm saying? And Jaren Jackson Jr. is a guy who was always in foul trouble, like because he's always that kind of defender. So he's going to get those 4 or 5 fouls. So they need somebody to come out there and take up that time. So if they're going to go get a big guy like Clingan, who is that defensive kind of player like that, that's a great backup to have to him.
Yeah, and they when you get to that level of being a second-round playoff team, you just need to add versatility in the style of play.
Yeah.
And so, they can go small and have Jaren at the 5. Now they can go big and punish you. And I think when you are in a Western Conference with teams like the Timberwolves who have Gobert and Cat and Naz Reid, when you have teams like Jokic out there, players like Jokic out there, you do need to have that sort of versatility. And I think now they're pretty well equipped to be able to defend big, defend small, space it out, play fast. They are going to be back next year.
Yeah, that should be fun, man. Should be interesting to watch this one.
Assuming that this is going to be Clingan at 6, a few people in the comments pointing out, including benchmarks, Matas Buzelis continues to slide. That's your boy, Big Dave.
Sliding down.
A lot of people had Buzelis as a top 5 pick.
They did.
He is now officially not a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
And boy, a couple of his interviews, including the one that you were able to chat with him back at the Chicago's NBA Draft Combine earlier this spring, Will. He also did another interview a few days ago talking about how he's not at all concerned about his shot, right? Yeah. He shot very poorly behind the arc in his season with the G League Ignite. And I think the other day, didn't he say something that was like, well, yeah, I mean, if I didn't shoot so poorly behind the arc for the G League Ignite, I'd be the number 1 pick in this draft.
Yeah, he's talking real
This is a lot of confidence for a guy who shot sub 30%.
Yes. Ton of confidence in him. It's one of the things I do like. I need him to not be super self-aware when you're on the floor. I like players who feel like they're the best player in the world when they are on the floor. So it's one thing to talk it, though, and it's another thing to walk it. It's another thing to get out there and do it. So that's what we got to see him do it and have it translate to the floor. But I just like how he moves, and I kind of like how he plays. But he's right. He's kind of a shot away from just being a really good basketball player.
Yeah, I like Buzelis. I think he's got a lot of upside and just a really interesting type of player. There aren't too many 6'10" athletes like that who can throw down windmills in game, who can get out in transition and run, but also have this face-up scoring element to their game. I'm a little concerned about whether he can put it all together. Obviously, the three-point shooting is an issue, 29%. But I think he's got a chance to be a good player because he just has a lot of skill. And I think when you make that jump to the G League from high school, of course, the three-point shooting is going to go down. You're extending your range by 3 feet. So I think he has a chance to put it together, but I just do have my questions about it.
Yeah, and this is the draft to be an upside on that kind of skill. You know what I mean? Like we said, just take the best player available. And toolsy is one word that you're going to continue to hear a lot in this draft right here, but Buzelis is one of those guys.
So, gentlemen, we do have a bit of conflicting reporting here.
Oh, I like confliction.
Yahoo Sports' Jake Fisher was basically saying that the Grizzlies were trading up to 6.
Right,
Will?
right.
Shams just tweeted something very different, as did Woj just now.
Uh-oh.
Charlotte keeping their pick. Joey, I believe the pick is in for the Charlotte. Charlotte is keeping their pick and focused on Tijan Salam.
Whoa.
Yep, another Frenchman in the top 7.
Wow.
And this guy is completely theoretical at this point. He is a very enticing prospect.
I know nothing about him.
He is about 6'9" without shoes, 7'1.5" wingspan, 32-inch vertical. He's an okay shooter. He shot 31% on threes, but I think that's a skill that you can kind of hope to bank on for him, but very, very much a work in progress. He's the kind of Fran Fraschilla 2 years away from being 2 years away kind of player.
Okay.
Because he's just super raw. I think he started playing basketball pretty recently. He's 18.9 years old tonight.
Wow.
And I just think it's going to take a lot for him to fully hit, but there is a ton of upside there. And again, another really young team who's not forcing the issue, getting guys that can come in and help space the floor right away.
Yeah.
They're taking swings on upside, and they're taking chances to get real star potential. So I like Salon a lot. I think he's going to take a while, but there's a lot to be interested in there, and I think. Sometimes he just looks like he has never played basketball before, has no idea what he's doing. Like he'll be under the basket and he'll like jump up and throw it off the backboard trying to do a putback and then sometimes he'll be out in transition and just dunk on you. So there's some skills there that I think are really interesting, but it's going to take a while for them to develop. And I think old friend Josh Longstaff from the Bulls coaching staff who moved over there is going to have his hands full with him.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not dead. He just took a job.
Yeah, he just took a job with Charlotte. Shout out to Will for putting the 0.9 on the age as well. That's the kind of stuff you get from the go.
Not even 19.
That's it, 18.9.
And
the other thing
20 in the comments saying, got to go Clingan at 7. I believe Woj included that in his tweet about Charlotte's big at 6. Clingan will make it to the Blazers at 7. The way that Woj phrased that, it doesn't necessarily say they're taking Clingan at 7. He said he will make it to the Blazers at 7.
Two different words to put that, yeah.
Indeed. What were you saying, Will?
It's just, he was a guy that was, he kind of rose up draft boards recently, but he was a guy that was projected to go behind the Bulls at 11 for a lot of teams and for a lot of mock drafts. So for him to go up in the top 6, that tells you someone else is falling. And that means somebody could be there for the Bulls. Obviously, we lost on the opportunity to draft Ron Holland, who I really liked, but other players are falling now. Dalton Connect has fallen. Matas Buzelis has fallen. Rob Dillingham. Devin Carter, who I think is probably my number 1 target for the Bulls at this point. Somebody should be there. And if not, they can look to trade back.
They can get straight back on that, man. So that's what they can do, man. But we'll see. I'm interested to see. Because this is, again, the chaos that I wanted. I wanted it, and that is just an out of left field kind of thing, because I don't even think we even had a discussion about that young man. But, man, this is the kind of stuff I like. This is the kind of stuff I'm here for, dog. Like, seriously, this kind of chaos is what I'm here for.
You know what I like?
Tell me.
Adam in the comments on our YouTube feed saying it's nearly 2 a.m. here. I'm up watching whilst building the Camp Nou Lego set. 5,500 pieces.
That's a lot of pieces.
The YouTube profile icon appears to be the Eiffel Tower, if I can see that correctly. It's a small picture.
Okay.
But 2 a.m. in Paris, that checks out.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Shout out to all the International Bulls fans watching in the crack of dawn, in the middle of the night, hanging out with us.
Appreciate y'all.
To see who the Bulls are going to take at number 11.
Yes.
Also, shout out to you for building a 5,500 piece Lego set.
Have you done that before? I feel like you've come close to something like that before.
I don't know the number of the maximum, like the biggest Lego set I've ever built in my life.
Okay.
I'd be hard pressed to confidently say it was over 5,500.
Wow.
I did an X-wing fighter from Star Wars, and it was like this freaking big. It was huge.
Dude.
I don't know how many pieces it was.
How long did it take you?
Christmas Day, and that was it. It was my Christmas present when I was like, 11, 12, and I was
You just pulled it out, told everybody to leave. I
was like, okay, Merry Christmas, family. Just went up to my room, closed the doors, just like Lego. Built it in a day.
Dinner time, man. Legos put together. That's impressive, though, sir, to do that today.
Did you ever Lego?
Yeah, I did. Not to that extent.
Not
but
to
yes,
that extent.
Absolutely we had Legos, man. I question your childhood if you weren't playing with some Legos.
Shout out to my buddy Dale.
Yeah.
You weren't
What up,
stepping
Dale?
on a bunch of Legos.
He and his wife have been getting into a lot of arguments recently about the amount of space that Legos take up in their house.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, let's get a bigger house.
That's a flex, is what that is, ladies and gents.
That is a flex.
That is a super flex. Shout out to him. That's how we do, baby. We just get a bigger house.
Joseph, I do believe we have another pick in with the Blazers at number 7. Clingan going to the Blazers at number 7.
Well, sorry, Bulls fans.
Sorry, Bulls fans who wanted Clingan and hoped he would fall all the way to 11.
Yeah.
I will say, pew! Big sigh of relief that the Bulls did not trade up to get him.
Yes,
I was not a fan of that plan.
Absolutely right. I mean, again, it goes with what they're doing right now. They're trying to go young. They understand who they are. You got a guy in place. You already got Ayton already there as your center. So him coming to back that up, it's a good move for a young team that's just trying to find themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting pick because they've got Rob Williams, who obviously has had the injury history, but he's a similar player in terms of rim protection.
Yeah.
And then you've got Ayton, who clearly they are seeing as not necessarily a fixture of their future.
Right.
You get Scoot, you get Simons, you get Sharp, you bring in Avdia, and now you go get Clingan. That's your center of the future. And it seems like their core is now coming into place. I wonder who, if they do move on from Simons, what do they look to get back? They've got Jeremy Grant still, who I think they can profit off of if they decide to move him.
True.
So just still some things in the air with how the Blazers are building, but I like the fit, and I think when you build a team that's very guard heavy and guard focused, and you have these smaller guards out there, and you want to play 3 of them, you need a really strong back line of defense, and he is going to give you that. He's the best rim protector in this draft.
Wow. Also, shout out to Donovan Clingan, who just said, give me the James Bond.
Yes.
When he was figuring out what he wanted to wear on draft night, he just said, legit, give me the James Bond.
Yes, he did, man. Shaken, not stirred. Woo. He is fly out there. Go ahead. He ain't wear this suit for no reason.
I mean, my good, look
Take
at that.
Take your time, sir. You ain't wear that suit for no reason. Take your time,
hug that much shorter bald man and celebrate your achievements.
Looking like Gunther.
All right, so guys, we've got Matas falling, Cody Williams falling, Topic is still available, Rob Dillingham, Devin Carter, Dalton Connect. Who are we liking with 4 picks now ahead of the Bulls? Trade down, I'm hearing from Matthew.
No, stay where you are. I still want to see who else is going off the board here. Stay where you are. It's what's the best available. I think that's where I'm at right now. Of course, I do want a big guy if it's the best available guy there. Then give me the big fella. I'll take it. But if the guard is the best available because they need the shooting, if a wing is the best available, then give me that. If Dalton Connect is the one, then take him, man. But I'm more prone to either the defense or the shooting because watching the Bulls last year, those were the 2 key things that in my brain that was the main focus of the problems that they were having, especially the 3-point shooting. Like you would say, well, they're going in down 8 or 9 points every single game, basically because of the 3-point shooting. But they couldn't stop anyone, either. So their only defense was to get rebounds because of Andre Drummond and because of Boots. That was their only defense. They couldn't stop anyone in the paint doing anything. So those are the 2 glaring things for the Bulls. So I think you should have to focus on one of those 2 glaring things with this pick that you want to get.
I think that the roster is going to change. I have a hard time believing AK traded his second best player, who's 30 years old, who is one of the top 3 defensive perimeter players in this entire NBA.
Didn't get a pick for him.
Who can shoot 41% on threes. I have a hard time believing he's trading that guy and continuing to build forward with the same vision.
Sure.
So again, I think they're going to have to kind of decide who to keep between DeMar and Zach. You can't get off Zach, then you're probably not going to be able to keep DeMar, and vice versa. Or maybe you just try to get off both. But I think right now they're at a point where they're building with Kobe, Giddey, and this pick.
Yeah.
And you could throw Io in there, you can maybe throw Patrick in there, but to me, you got some shooting with Kobe. I need the best player available, and maybe that's. I think when you break it down that way, it's you've got Giddey, you've got Kobe, you need some forwards and a big. So maybe you want to build it that way, but if Matas is there, I know I just said I have some questions about him. I think at 11 that would be.
Can I present?
Joseph, you got something to say?
Come on,
well, I just
Joe.
want to present an alternative scenario here because I saw this in the chat. I thought it's quite possible.
Come on, Joe.
Our old friend Mark K, you remember him?
Mark K.
I've heard of him.
Heard of buddy.
He says, I wouldn't rule out AK not knowing he's on the clock, time expiring, and the Bulls forfeiting number 11. What do you see that as a possibility?
Has that? I think that has happened before.
It's happened before, yes.
I can't
Mark,
remember.
we love you. We miss you. Wish you were
Definitely
here.
happened.
That would be a new low. That would be a new low.
I would. The only reason I want to see it is the entertainment factor of watching Matt Peck lose his damn mind.
I mean, that is a
That'd be the
fireable
only
offense
reason.
if there ever was one.
I've already taken it as a given, and maybe that's dumb. What you were just saying a minute ago, Will, they're like, oh yeah, the Caruso for Giddey trade definitely signifies they're moving other pieces.
Yeah.
Zach and or DeMar are gone.
Yeah.
Maybe they bring back Pat, but this is getting disassembled. If they don't, then what the hell was that trade for?
Exactly.
If they don't, then I'm opening an incognito tab and Googling DIY home bomb making and marching a little further west down Madison Avenue. Because what the frick are you doing?
And this is why I hang out with Matt, to keep him from doing those things. This is exactly why I'm around you, sir. No, that's like close that right there, Matt. Drink that frosty cold Coors
Dude,
Light.
I got a laptop and a smartphone. You can't prevent everything.
That's true, but
Somewhere
I can't say
I
I'm
will
around.
open an incognito tab about how to build a bomb if the Bulls don't blow
That's
this
true,
up.
but it won't be tonight because you'll be drinking those frosty cold Coors Light.
I
I'll do
have
my
a-
part.
help.
I have
I'll
a
do my
prediction. I think Buzelis and Devin Carter are going to go in these next 2 picks.
Okay.
2 out of the next 3 picks.
Which means Topic's still there.
Topic's still there, but I think that means that the Bulls are probably going to look to trade down.
Come on! Trade down, baby!
I just think the guys that they wanted were Holland and Devin Carter.
Yeah.
And if they can't get them, they apparently really loved the workout with Terrence Shannon. Maybe they moved down a couple spots to go get him because there's absolutely no reason to take him 11th.
No, not at all.
They liked Ryan Dunn a lot too. Maybe they try to pick up an additional pick. So I would not remove that from the list of possibilities here.
I wonder why they don't want Dalton Connect or a guy like that who can actually shoot the basketball, man. You're going to need that. Especially if you're going to build around these young guys, man. That's the best way to do it, is to get a shooter. Get those guys somebody open that can get the ball. Fine, you don't want to play defense? Cool. All right, we understand what we're going to be. But dang, at least be a little entertaining, man. Hit some threes, bro. You haven't done it for years. When you were trying to win, you still couldn't do it.
Indeed. While we have the Spurs on the clock here, Dave, you want to give a shout-out to our friends at Coors Light?
Oh, saving
that out real
lives is what Coors Light is doing.
Thank you, Coors Light.
You know what? Every sip right here that you see this man, Matt Peck, is taking is saving a life. Frosty cold. Look at it. Coors Light. Because between work, social media, and the choices that life throws our way like the Bulls, it's no wonder that we're more worked up. You a little worked up, Matt?
Just a tad.
Just a tad. Well, then Coors Light celebrates rising above and choosing a chill mindset.
Rise above it.
Rise. Why not turn that rained-out barbecue into the Will to Go Gottlieb 415th annual karaoke house party?
Y'all are invited to go.
Everybody's invited. Just show up. No RSVPs. Just come through. Or after a tough loss, settle scores with the ice-cold peace offering. Make the choice to choose chill. Then reach for a frosty cold Coors Light and that mountain cold refreshment. Because when the mountains turn blue, you know what to do. It's as cold as a Rockies.
Rockies!
Cold lager, cold filtered, and cold package for a smoother finish. So go ahead and embrace a chill mindset and crack open a frosty cold Coors Light. Refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Make the most out of your time to choose chill, y'all. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door via Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Basketball. CoorsLight.com/CHGO Basketball. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Colorado.
What's up, Carr?
Joseph, I believe we have another pick in.
Yep. Give me a second here. Let me confirm everything
Alrighty.
on my end.
I like how he
Spurs,
works. He's got to confirm
Spurs
it.
on the clock here at
Triple
8.
check it. Make sure it's right. I like how you roll basketball, Joey.
There were a lot of names going to San Antonio at 8 on all the mocks that I looked at for the last few weeks.
Okay.
Including Salone, who went earlier, even earlier.
That's wild, man.
Man.
Dillingham.
Okay, there might be some Bulls fans upset about this. I think our buddy Ricky O from SB Nation, who was with us yesterday, might be a little bummed about this because he is a big fan. Spurs taking Rob Dillingham of Kentucky at number 8. Undersized guard, but a guard who just scores with reckless abandon.
I like this.
Absolutely electric, and I love the fit. I mean, we
Yes.
just talked about it with Stephon Castle. You've got Vassell, you've got Sohan, you've got Keldon Johnson.
Yeah.
You've got pieces there that can insulate against a smaller guy like this.
Great
Because
word.
Rob Dillingham is the most dynamic scorer in this draft. He is absolutely electric with the ball in his hands. He can get to any spot he wants on the floor. Shot 44% on threes. He can step back. He can pull up. He can get to the rim. He does it all. He actually really evolved.
Whoa, hold on.
Joey,
Whoa,
interruption.
Wojbomb.
Hold up.
Minnesota Timberwolves have traded for the 8th pick in Rob Dillingham.
You wanted to hear that first. Now
Wow.
you do it. Now say it again.
We're good. We're good on that. We're all good. Don't worry about
Let's
the
go,
pick.
Joey.
The trade is in.
The trade is
wow.
in.
Minnesota has traded for the 8th
Minnesota.
pick.
Wow.
I wonder what they're giving up. But, I mean,
Wow, bro.
I kind of love
Explain
it.
it, Goat.
I kind of love it. We just talked about it with the Spurs. Like, they have an elite defense to be able to protect against his defensive deficiencies. And what did they need in the postseason when teams really loaded up on Anthony Edwards? They didn't have a secondary guy that could really make moves with the ball in his hands.
True.
And Dillingham can do that. You've got Jaden McDaniels. You've got Anthony Edwards, Gobert back there. I mean, they've got defenders to be able to make up for that. And they need somebody who can really score the ball. And I think Dillingham is, like I said, the best in this draft when it comes to scoring.
Yeah.
And I think he just makes a lot of sense on an already good team
Yeah.
where he can start to like serve people up and just do what he does best, which is score, and not necessarily have to worry about some of his flaws and deficiencies.
And when we talked about the scoring, we talked about how it could work with a guy like Victor Wembanyama, just making your life a little easier on the defensive end because he's not a great defensive guy. But now he's got Rudy Gobert, on that side too. So he's got another good defender, the reigning defensive player of the year, that'll be back there helping him. So, yeah, he'll have those opportunities to score and to be himself out there on the floor, man, and just have the ball. And that's a great point you made when Anthony Edwards gets to the bench, having somebody that continues to put that pressure. And also Mike Conley getting a little older. You know what I mean? His time might be coming where he retires.
Yep.
You're going to have to pass that baton on. Why not pass it to somebody electric?
One coming here.
Whoa.
Joey feels like electric is
Another
on the
pick.
Another
It is a
interesting
surprise.
one coming
Wow.
here. Hold on, give me 1 second
Take
here.
your time, basketball, Joseph. Wow.
Whoa.
Y'all going to want to hear this one.
Whoa.
Is Braggs here?
What, we're going to want to hear this.
Braggs, where you at?
Oh, man.
Where you at, Braggs? Pick is in. Memphis Grizzlies planning to take Zach Edey at number 9.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, guys.
Really?
Yeah.
I kind of love it for them.
Really?
I kind of love it for them.
You love
We
all
talked
this
about
so
it a
far.
lot with
I like this.
Clingan when I
Yeah.
thought he was going to be the pick. But they need a big that can play 22, 25 minutes a game
Yes.
and just offer a different look. And Edey's not going to have to worry about playing 36 minutes and not fouling.
No.
He's going to just go post up when they want to slow it down and play big.
Right.
They're going to have floor spacing around him. They've got one of the best dynamic point guards who can get downhill. You've got Desmond Bane, Jaren Jackson, Marcus Smart around him to space the floor. And he can just collapse the paint, force help, and kick it out, or just shoot right over you. So I'm not saying Zach Edey is going to be a superstar player. I think there's maybe a little bit of potential there just because he's so unique. But I think this kind of bet for a team like Memphis specifically, this was another team like the Wizards or the Hornets or something, a rebuilding team, I would not like it as much. But he can just slot into a backup role, give you 22 minutes a game, and just be really good at the things that he's really good at. I probably would have gone a different direction if I were them because I like some of the players on the board better. But that is surprising, and I think it puts Devin Carter in a good position to maybe make it all the way to the Bulls.
So Utah's now up at 9, right?
Yep.
Utah's 10.
Utah's 10,
10.
correct. Which is what I thought. And so Utah at 10, and Dillingham went, Saloon went, and Edey went. And I think that's sort of a surprise to a lot of us who were expecting who was going to be on the board here for the Bulls to pick. And to you guys, who's jumping off? I mean, Connect's there. Buzelis is there.
Cody Williams is still
Cody
there.
Williams is there. This is a scenario that I didn't necessarily foresee happening, and so I'm curious here how this one's going to play out here.
Very curious.
That was,
Chaos,
that
baby.
was a big surprise. So we also got the
chaos.
information on the trade between the Wolves and the Spurs.
Oh, yes, those
Timberwolves
picks.
sending
Go for it.
2031 unprotected first and a 2030 pick swap for Rob Dillingham. It's a hefty price, but they also are just so expensive that they need dynamic players on cheap contracts. And so you move into the draft, that's one way to do it. I really like that for them, and like I said, I'm interested in this Edey pick, but I'm just so curious now to see if Matas Buzelis or Devin Carter is there for the Bulls. It's going to be one or the other.
And that's what's interesting also about Edey is we didn't really discuss him as far as being a top 10 pick. We thought that's the possibility.
I thought,
Maybe it could happen, but we didn't think
lottery,
he would go.
mid-teens,
Exactly.
late teens. Yeah.
Exactly. But like we said, if you like somebody and you want them, you go for them. But it's still a little bit surprising. But again, we talked about what that team is going to need as far as that center position is confirmed. They're going to need that. They're going to need that kind of backup who can actually do what he feels like doing out there, and that's just be big. And having a guy like Jaren Jackson Jr. to help you defensively, that's a good thing for them, man. He's in the right situation and on the right kind of team, because they enjoy that back-to-the-basket kind of play a little bit. But now he can clear space and he set those picks, because I just see pick and rolls with John Morant all day long. You know what I mean? Those pick and rolls with Ja is going to be crazy.
And he can just be nasty. He's a physical, huge guy.
Yeah,
he
look
blocks
at him,
a ton
bro.
of shots. He doesn't need to do anything crazy. He can just go be himself and
Meat
go
potatoes.
post up
Yeah,
and
meat
score over
potatoes.
guys. I just think it's an interesting look for them. And again, we talked about it before. The West is so big. They've got Gobert and Kat. They've got Jokic. There's just so many big teams. You need to be able to combat that. As much as I love Jaren Jackson, I don't know that he is a guy that you could say, go play the 5 for 40 minutes a night in the playoffs. You need big bodies. And I just think this is a really interesting way to try to play that out.
Let me ask you that because you just touched on a little bit. But in the West, we know obviously Boston won, so that's who everybody's going to be changing the teams to try to compete with and be like.
People are saying that's why the Knicks made the Bridges trade.
Without a doubt. That's why they kept OG Anunoby. That's why they did all those things. But with it being wide open in the West, and you saw how Dallas was the team that actually made it to the finals, what team do you think other teams are trying to model in the West to try to move up? Is it a team like Dallas, like get me 2 superstars and then let's see what happens? Is it a team like OKC that's young and has all these tools and pieces on it? What do you think?
I think that's a really interesting question. Not a lot of teams can just say, I'm going to go model the Mavericks. Because Luka Doncic is not available. But you can say, I'm going to add a ton of size. I've got my dynamic playmaker. I've got my secondary guys. And we've got another pick in here, Joey. But I just think you do have to kind of capitalize on the things that you do well, but then add those different elements to be able to play different styles against whoever you go up against. Because at the end of the day, the Nuggets are going to be there. The Wolves are going to be there. I mean, there are other teams that are just always coming.
Sure.
Who knows who it is? But I think you have to be ready for anything, and that's why, Edey, he is what he is. I'm not a huge fan of his, but I think just the style of play and giving them an extra look is really interesting.
Okay.
We got a pick, Joe.
Pick us in.
The Utah Jazz make Karl Malone and John Stockton rot in hell forever. Are selecting Cody Williams with the number 10 pick. Wow. Okay, another name that we talked about early.
All right.
Early on in this process, we talked about Cody Williams and the Bulls. Another player you got a chance to talk to at the NBA Combine, Will. A toolsy wing that is sort of a project player that honestly had AK written all over him, if we're being honest. He goes to Utah at 10. And so now when you look at what is on the board with the Jazz taking Cody Williams, Matas Buzelis has fallen.
Yeah.
He is still there. Dave's guy.
My guy's there.
Dalton Connect.
Yeah.
Bulls need shooting.
They do.
Still there. The 6'5" shooter from Tennessee on the board. I mean, if you do still want the Bulls to just say, hey, let's not screw this up, let's take best available, who is that right now? Is it Buzelis?
I would say Buzelis. I think Devin Carter is a more seamless fit, but Buzelis is a good upside play. He's a big guy. I mean, he's 6'10", super athletic, obviously from the area, and we know AK loves that. Also has the Lithuanian heritage, which obviously is a match with AK. So I think that makes sense. I would also entertain trading down a spot or two here because you do have so many good options with kind of some surprises going ahead of you. But I think Buzelis is probably, he's the highest guy on my big board. He's not necessarily my favorite fit with the Bulls. I think I would still have Devin Carter a little bit higher just as a fit, but as I've talked about this whole process, you don't prioritize fit right now. You prioritize getting the best player.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know why Buzelis is sliding because
it's true.
Is it more about the bravado of a guy who shot like ass in his one G League Ignite season? Or
maybe
is
they
it
just
more
forgot he hadn't been taken and they're just moving on their draft board.
Speaking of forgot they haven't been taken, am I crazy or is Topic still on the board?
They're still there.
He
still
is
there.
The ACL tear, I think, is going to
we assumed the news of the partial ACL tear was going to drop him further down the board, but a lot of people, our guy Ricky O'Donnell, a lot of people thought, okay, ACL removed, Topic could go number 1 in this draft class.
Yeah.
If you're the Bulls and you're refocusing and you're calling next season a reevaluation, let's try and find a trade for Zach and or sign and trade for DeMar, bring in Josh Giddey, see what he does with these younger pieces. I don't see a problem with draft and stash as a strategy if you like the upside of Topic. It's just the giant red flag of an ACL.
And you've also saved a bunch of money doing that. I mean, they are under a cap crunch right now. If you can push back and not start that rookie clock for another year, I think that really helps you be worse this year too. Look, another guard, we understand, but I think Topic's ability to put pressure on the rim is something that nobody else in this league, in this draft has.
Sure.
And we do have the pick in.
We got a pick, Joe.
We got it.
All right. There it is. Let's do it.
Everybody congratulate Big Dave because the Bulls are selecting Chicago's own Matas Buzelis with the number 11 pick in the NBA draft. Wow.
And look who's on the screen, of course.
Okay, I hope Buzelis takes a flight back to Chicago from the draft and is in the gym with Peter Patton tomorrow.
Immediately.
Tomorrow.
And I mean immediately he needs to work on that shot consistently and often. That's all he really needs to be doing is getting that together. But, yeah, I've made no secret about him, man. He's been my other favorite player in the draft outside of basketball, Joey. I just like the way he plays. He was the first player whose tape I would watch and actually ooh and ah at when I would say, oh, damn, look at those moves. Look at the things he's doing. So I like his skill. I like how he plays. Of course, I like his mental. I like the help defense also. That's also one thing that stood out a lot to me about Buzelis is him coming in on that help defense and getting those blocks is going to be a super help for the Bulls, who are not going to be a defensive stalwart team. That is not. I don't know if that's news to you or not.
Dude, the Bulls are going to beat the Atlanta Hawks on defense next season.
Correct, man. And again, he's fun. And I'm looking at fun right about now coming into this next season.
Instead of flipping out about the Bulls giving up 150 like that one time against Minnesota, you're going to just save your celebration for the nights when the Bulls don't give up 150 next season.
Correct. We'll see. Because I might still get
Here's the thing about Buzelis.
We'll see.
He's not like the best defensive perimeter player in the world.
Sure.
He's very good at sliding over and protecting the rim.
The help defense is
I think
great.
he fits well with Patrick Williams.
Sure.
I think he fits well with like Josh Giddey and Kobe and Io. Like that core starts to make sense. You've got size. I mean, we talked so much about the Bulls not having any power forward sized players.
Yeah.
Well, Matas Buzelis, what was he on my big board? Number 6 overall. He's 6'8" and 3/4 without shoes, 6'10" wingspan, 38-inch vertical, 16.5 points, 8 rebounds per 75 possessions at the G League level. Did shoot only 27% on threes. That's going to be a huge area of improvement.
Huge.
I think also the ball handling is something he's going to need to work on a lot. He's a little bit static, not very doesn't have a lot of shake, not a lot of wiggle. But I mean, this is a big upside win. We talked about taking bets on upside. For him to fall to 11, I mean that is a great value pick.
Falling to 11 and getting Buzelis at 11 and not trading up for him, which is something that was reported. The Bulls, like Buzelis, they might trade up for him.
Yeah.
Falling to 11, I think there's upside there. Bulls Nation in the comments always showing us every which way that Bulls fans can feel about this. Hugh Heaven saying, okay, I'm on board. Sam saying, smart choice. Flex Diggs, meanwhile, saying, we got a whole team that can't shoot.
Yes, we do.
Luis saying, Buzelis, solid pick.
Yeah.
DL, Josh Giddey can't shoot. Now this guy who can't shoot?
And this is consistent with how AK has done things. He
Poorly?
has bet on he's bet on his player development to develop guys into shooters. I have my questions about Buzelis. He shot 44%, I think, from 3 during one season of high school, but then comes in and shoots 27% on threes at the G League level. I think guys like him will get better. He's a hard worker, incredibly confident. That was the first thing that rubbed off on me when we had a chance to talk with him at the Combine. So I think this is a great pick. I really do. I mean, again, maybe not my favorite player in the draft.
Sure.
I think he's got some flaws, and I question some of the things that are supposed to make him great. But look, I mean, to get him at 11, that is a huge win.
A guy that was being projected to be a top 5 pick that you can walk away with at 11 in this draft. Yeah, that is excellent value for the Bulls. And even with his shooting, what also excites me a little is that he's a good free throw shooter. So I know that is something there that you can actually work on and get better at as far as your shooting is concerned. He'll be better. He'll get a little better, man. He'll have to change that number because he won't be wearing number 13.
Yeah, no.
You ain't going to feel that, man.
Thank you, CEO, in the comments saying, Giddey, Kobe White, Buzelis, P. Will, Loki, don't hate this. Well, I hope you have all the faith in Patrick Williams guarding 5 players next season.
Let's just watch some Michael Jordan highlights.
The other thing is, look at what the other options were. Like, I mean, he was probably the best upside play. You could argue Topic, but they did not take Devin Carter, who was a guy who you could plug in and say, this is my Alex Caruso replacement. Let's keep going forward. This is a project. He is not going to be ready to score 20 right away, but I think I like what this says about the Bulls' direction in terms of their willingness to take swings, to develop players and build upside. He is very similar in a lot of ways to some of the other players that AK has drafted. Patrick Williams, Dalen Terry, I would assume with Julian Phillips, these bigger toolsy wings who have height, who have length, and who have upside, but aren't necessarily finished products by any means. And I think they're going to have to really develop his jump shooting for him to kind of unlock the other parts of his game.
The entire time Will was talking, they were showing a Michael Jordan highlight package, and I was just like, it's such a blanket.
It's
just a comfortable blanket.
I love the dichotomy of Bulls fans. It's really brilliant.
There's no middle ground ever.
L in the comments, keep Zach LaVine. The coach is the problem. Immediate next comment, Tony Moy. Nobody wants Zach LaVine.
I'm gonna be honest. This is intriguing. Not
Talk
even
to me,
intriguing.
Joe.
I'm just excited that they are. Listen, if this is the direction they're going to go and they're going to be bad, it's not going to be fun to watch.
Sure.
But I mean, do we all agree it's probably the right direction?
Yeah.
Like I'm excited for them that they have seemingly, and there's still a couple moves that they've got to make that are going to affirm this. But like Will said, that they're not going with the guy that's got the highest floor, and they're willing to take a swing and maybe shows.
There he is.
They're willing to be bad this year.
Let's take a look at him. There he is, shaking hands.
And I think that is.
Let me see the suit. Let me see the suit.
He's a tall young man.
Yeah, the suit it's understated. The suit's a little understated. Kind of like it. Yeah, he's a little chill.
Also a little baggy on him.
Little bit.
Little baggy.
Little bit, man. But yeah,
as a '90s grunge kid, I respect that. We need to all go back to Carmelo's suit in the 2003 draft class.
Carmelo, you make horrible choices. All right, there he is. Matas Buzelis.
Matas Buzelis taking the stage.
There it is.
Shaking hands with Adam Silver. Oh.
He is a child.
And this is all just one big, giant exercise in futility because the Bulls will never win ever again. Love y'all, Bulls Nation.
Sip that Coors Light. There it is. Chill mindset's going on, baby.
You're going to need another one.
There's Jim over there. I told you, anytime I mention any ads, Jim look over anytime. Every single time, baby. He owned it.
Can't fill this bucket fast enough, Jim.
But look at
Matas
some highlights.
Buzelis.
But looking at him, like, look at the highlights of him, man. Like, just a guy. Look at the help defense is my favorite thing. Like, watch it right there. Like, it's my favorite thing about him, man. And they're going to need all of that, every single piece of it from him, man. And he's not scared out there, bro. Like, no, I like him. I like his game, man. He comes in with that confidence, ready to play, and then he can do stuff like that. I like that.
So, gentlemen, now that we know that the pick is in fact in, we know who the Bulls took. They stuck at 11.
They stuck.
They used that number 11 pick and drafted a kid who played high school ball for part of his high school career just outside Chicago.
Did.
It's Hill Central. Matas Buzelis.
He did. Look at him. Getting emotional, too, when he got picked. Look at him. Yeah, bro. Little emotion there.
I'd get emotional, too, if I just made $50 million.
True. But
more or less.
Look at his boy, though, right next to him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, bro. This is a family thing. This means something, dog.
Back. It's time to put on the rose-colored glasses.
You want to put on the rose-colored glasses, Joe?
It means something, man.
The Bulls took Buzelis, so let's talk about how his future is bright.
Yeah.
You want to talk about how his future is bright?
Brightness. Oh, just right there, shining right there. Let me put him on. Oh, there we go. We are activated. Looking at him talk right there. I was like, I like seeing the athletes show that kind of emotion, Will. I always do. But that does something for me every time. You could sell me on an athlete who sheds tears after he gets picked, bro. That's just me. I'm a softie like that, son, when it comes to that emotion, man. That's real stuff right there.
I agree. I agree, Dave.
It means something, dog. Like seeing him and his family.
Emotional maturity that at that age you're able to appreciate.
Seriously.
How cool something like that is.
I enjoy those kind of
things. Play for your hometown team.
That means something to him, man. So I'm interested to see how he goes out and works. I'm interested to see that. Like Matt said, Peter Patton needs to be next to him. I mean, they can get a Airbnb together, and stay overnight and go right to the gym, but they need to be shooting and shooting and shooting. But I'm interested to see him and interested to see how he helps Bulls on both sides of the ball, especially the defensive side, bro.
We're going to put on our rose-colored glasses for a second and explain to the people in Bulls Nation why the future is bright for Bulls number 11 draft pick, Matas Buzelis, brought to you by our friends at Shady Rays. Head to shadyrays.com, use that promo code CHGO at checkout to get 35% off your polarized premium shades. Okay, so future is bright. The question is how bright? Obviously, there's still a few other dominoes to fall. The Bulls on draft night, people were talking about, are we trading Zach LaVine?
Yeah.
Not yet. Are they going to try and sign and trade DeMar? Not yet.
Right.
If there is a full-scale rebuild that just the rest of it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do we see Buzelis being like
look at the emotion.
A guy who
that's his family, but that's his brother. That ain't even him. That's his bro, man.
That's crazy though.
That's love right there,
That's
bro.
super cool.
Is this somebody that we're talking about being in the Bulls starting 5 with Josh Giddey next season?
Wow, dog. This is crazy.
It's a lot of white guys in one lineup.
That's a lot. Whole lot, Will. They representing. Shout
Red
out to y'all.
Auerbach would be proud.
Actually, no, he got Bill Russell. He ain't one with it.
The Celtics had a rule, Dave.
Oh, well, please, man.
I'm just
This I know.
You know this.
I know.
You know this.
Come on, dog.
I didn't expect the defense of Red Auerbach from you.
I have the same question. Is Buzelis somebody you think will start next season?
That's what I'm
That's what
wondering.
I'm wondering the same thing.
I'm wondering that too.
How does he slot in next to Pat?
Well, Pat still, they got to resign
You're
him
right.
first.
You're right.
Yeah.
Is Pat even going to be here?
Maybe
Yeah.
this is an indication that he won't be, but I think you got to bring him back. Obviously, the Bulls are going towards young players with the upside.
Yeah.
We saw that with Josh Giddey. We saw that now with Buzelis. Look, I do not think he is a perfect prospect. I've got some questions about him.
Sure.
But I think he's a guy you can build with. And
Yeah.
I think he will get better. They've got to develop that jump shot. They've got to develop his handle. But I think he can be like a really good combo forward, 3-4 guy, and you cannot have enough of those. So you have him, you have Patrick, you have Giddey, you got 6'8", 6'8", 6'10".
Yeah.
That's a good size lineup. I like what they're looking at building.
And it's something that's been lacking, as we talked about on the scene, where you talk about all the time, Will, when we talk about Patrick Williams and how he fits in anywhere, on a roster, strictly because of the size and the tools that he has, but it starts with the size. And having another guy like that on your team who's actually likes playing defense and things like that on your squad, it helps the Bulls. It's just about the three-point shooting. So you answered the question about defense, and now you have to answer the question about shooting, for this team. So I'm interested to see, man. I'm telling you, I like this dude, bro. I do.
Here's the thing.
I like how he plays.
He was a projected #1 pick at the start of this draft. So
See, okay, and that's why I'm very uneasy right now.
Because he was
Say more.
projected to be number one?
The future's still bright because you can get some dope-ass Shady Rays at ShadyRays.com. I'm a little skeptical.
Talk to me.
Because I have completely fallen out of my trust in this Bulls front office.
Okay.
And their ability to do anything right.
Okay.
And if Buzelis, who was being touted as a top 5 pick, maybe some people having him as a top 3 or even #1 overall at various points through this 2024 draft class process, and he falls to 11, why?
Why did he fall? I understand that
Why
question.
did he fall, and why were the Bulls so eager to scoop him up?
Well, just looking at, there's another pick in right there, sir.
Oh, we do have another pick in.
We got another
At
pick
number
in
12.
right there.
Montana Shy, I am a hater. How you doing? Thanks for joining us.
And the pick from OKC is the Will to go Gottlieb
Somebody that we were talking about, Nikola Topic.
Nikola Topic.
The ACL red flag, but high upside if he's healthy, goes to OKC.
The perfect team to go to because they don't need him at all this year. He can absolutely rehab and come back next year, Will.
And they need more bench shot creation. Obviously, they lost Giddey to the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
They needed someone to come in and replace that kind of production with the ball in his hands off the bench. And they continue to be the most patient organization. They're not forcing the issue to go all in, despite the fact that they were the #1 team in the West.
Yeah.
They take a guy who was #2 on my big board. I'm very excited about his potential, but they can take their time with it because they know they're going to be really good anyway next year. And maybe they don't sign him. Maybe that helps them with their cap flexibility, but this is a guy who I think has a chance. He actually kind of reminds me of Shea in some ways just because of the pressure that he puts on the rim. He's a great facilitator. The shot has to come around. The defense has to come around, but you've got Caruso, you've got Lou Dort, you've got Cason Wallace. You've got guys that can, pick up some slack.
Yeah.
So I think Topic's going to be really good. I'm very excited to see how he plays, and the Thunder continue to be my favorite team to watch because they just continue to do it the right way.
Matt, let me come back to your question.
Sure.
As far as Buzelis falling, why?
Yeah.
I think it's I'm trying to say it right for you. I think it's a less valid question in this draft.
Okay.
Only because of how weak this draft is and how many people we've seen completely fall. We just saw Zach Edey go 9.
Right.
And we thought Zach Edey would be towards the bottom of the first round. And we just saw him
another
go
way of
there.
saying that a lot of teams in the top 15 so far were drafting more for need and not best available.
Yeah, that could be the case. I'm just saying in this kind of draft where after the first 3, we kind of were like, well, it's about to be chaos and we don't know who they're going to take. And even in the fact we thought Sarr, everybody had Sarr projected there, but the only reason he didn't go, obviously, because he didn't work out. But in this kind of draft, if people are falling or rising, it's hard for me to put stake in any of that just because of the style of the draft that it is.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And look, it could be that the Bulls found themselves a steal at 11 with Buzelis.
It could be.
It's possible.
I like him. I can't wait to go home and watch more
had
tape.
priorities elsewhere,
and
a guy who could have easily gone top 5 and deserved to go top 5 falls all the way to the Bulls at 11. Great.
Yeah.
I'm willing to see how that plays out.
I am
And
too.
also, like, here's another piece of silver lining. The future is bright. Put your Shady Rays on. Thank God they didn't trade up and give away any assets.
Yeah.
Whether it be for Buzelis or anyone else,
Yes.
that to me is the win tonight.
Yes.
AK wasn't so dumb that he gave up assets to move in this draft.
I completely agree with you
Nor
on
did
that.
they draft an older, like, win-now player. They didn't reach on Terrence Shannon. They went for upside. They went for youth. And sometimes it's okay to just not overthink it. You know, like, guys fall in the draft. That doesn't mean they're going to be bad. Cam Whitmore last year had the medicals. He was a top 5 projected pick, slid all the way to 20, and he was awesome last year.
He was.
He's not like a superstar player. He's not completely without flaws. But, and I'm not even saying Buzelis is going to be as good as him, but I just think, like, process-wise, this is what I like to see. You develop your homegrown players. You hope that you can develop, you know, the weaknesses in their game based on your player development.
Yeah.
And we've seen proof of concept that can work. Kobe took a huge leap last year. Ayo took a huge leap. You know, guys got better in this system. And I think with more youth, with a guy like Josh Giddey, who can help create easy opportunities for a guy like Buzelis, I think that just kind of makes some sense. So I like that they're not rushing things. I like that they're not feeling like frantic to like move off of attach picks to move off of Zach LaVine so you can bring back DeMar. It seems like they're taking the right steps to go slowly here, and I'm not going to like put the cart too much before the horse. But so far, so good from what we've seen. Would we like it to be a little bit better, maybe more draft picks, more focus on upside and youth? Sure, but I think all things considered, this is generally speaking the right process and the right path to go on. So that's something I can be happy about.
That has been the Shady Rays Future is Bright segment, brought to you by Shady Rays at ShadyRays.com. Use that promo code CHGO at checkout to get 35% off your premium polarized shades, Dave.
Another pick in here.
We do have a pick in. Joseph hit it. Boom. Sacramento, who flirted with trading their number 13 pick, are keeping it and selecting another name that Bulls fans heard all about, Devin Carter. Wow.
There it is.
I'm a little bit surprised that with Carter and Buzelis on the board, that the Bulls took Buzelis. Because Buzelis, I think, was well ahead of Carter in most people's mock drafts, most people's big boards, so it makes sense if you're going best available. But we heard from every possible angle, both local and national, over the last month, that the Bulls were in love with Devin Carter. And he was on the board at 11, and they said, so is Matas. We're taking Matas.
It's a classic Bulls pick, Devin Carter. That is a classic Bulls pick.
I really like Devin Carter.
But
I think he's going to
nice.
be a great pro, but he's 22.
Yeah.
He's 6'2", but he's got like a 6'9" wingspan, hyper athletic.
Yeah.
Just
motor
great
for days.
athlete.
Yeah.
He really developed his jump shooting. And I think, he kind of, to me, is what they always wanted Davion Mitchell to be.
I was just about to get into
guard,
that.
Comes in, he can handle the offense a little bit with the second unit. He can play next to Fox. He can shoot. He can defend. He can get on transition. This is like a perfect fit. I'm kind of surprised OKC didn't take him because I think he makes a lot of sense there too. But I love that. And if we can change topics back to the Bulls and Buzelis here for a second.
No, absolutely not.
It's not the budget.
Actually, do we have something more important to talk about?
He took the glasses off, Joey. When you saying that, he got serious on you.
Basically, Casey Johnson just wrote a story, and there's some positive signs in here that I think are going to make Matt happy. I'm just going to read the first couple paragraphs. He writes, the Bulls didn't draft Cooper Flagg on Wednesday, but they increased their ability to put themselves in position to potentially do so. And by selecting Matas Buzelis with the 11th pick in the first round of NBA's two-day draft, they continue the potential rebuild that management may soft shoe as a retool that began with last week's trade of Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey. Make no mistake, not only is Zach LaVine available for trade, the Bulls are open for business. And with growing buzz that DeMar DeRozan will be elsewhere next season, either via sign and trade or simply walking in unrestricted free agency, the buzzword is no longer competitiveness, it's Cooper.
Okay.
Wow.
You like that, Matt? Yeah, look at you.
That's a bar from
Wow.
Look at you.
I mean, I'm done with the words that start with C to sum up the Bulls' futility.
I do like that one, though.
You feeling that one?
I like Cooper more than
It's
continuity.
Baptist approved, sir.
It's also
Baptist
just like-
I do think it's hilarious, and this isn't what they were doing, but it's funny to be like, no, we're not. No, he sucks. We think Matas sucks. We're tanking. Like, you guys should love this pick. We purposely took someone we don't like. Like, it's,
Devin Carter is honestly, he is a Bulls pick that I've seen them make before. Like, it would be a typical Bulls kind of pick.
100%.
Not against his talent or his skill or anything like that, but that's how he kind of felt to me. Was like, this is how the Bulls do. They get those kind of picks right there. He's going to try hard, be
He was
competitive.
going to win the Bulls the Summer League championship with a ridiculous buzzer beater after 18 pivot foots.
Dude, he was going to be in the finalists for the Hustle Award this season, dog. Like, believe it. He's that kind of player.
Like,
he's good, man.
Summer League is going to be way more fun watching a guy like Matas than a guy like Devin Carter.
Absolutely.
And I just think, I mean, if what Casey is writing is correct, that they are looking that direction, that is like vindication for us. We've been talking about it for months and months and years at this point. So I think how can you not argue that's a positive?
That's a positive, man. I think it's a positive as well. This is the move you're supposed to make, and they made it. And I am appreciative of them not doing the same thing. I don't listen. What you did and make your mistakes is what you do. My problem is when you keep doing them. That's the issue. So as long as you can learn from them and move forward, fine. Let's do that. So they're learning from them. They're moving forward, and they got a guy who I want to sit and watch, like Will said, in the summer league.
Joseph, I believe we have our next pick in.
yeah, this one's a weird one.
Let's go Weirds. Hit me.
This one's a weird one.
Is it not?
Gary in the comments said, "Who's Bud Carrington?"
I like Bob Carrington. This is just
Washington
earlier than he was
is
slotted.
selecting Bub Carrington with the number 14 overall pick.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Goat, who's Bud / Bub Carrington?
So Carlton Carrington, aka Bub Carrington, two of the best names in the draft in the same person. From Pitt, he's a guard. He's explosive. He's long. He's lanky. He's slithery. He's a great shot creator.
Awesome words.
He was somebody that was kind of further down in the early 20s on a lot of mocks, but has recently crept up. He's average ADP of 15.9 on the last list of mock drafts.
Oh, take it back. I was wrong then.
I had him at 16. I think it's a really good pick. He's young, 6'4" without shoes, 6'8" wingspan. He can jump, 18, 7, and 6. Just a really creative scorer and passer. And I think for a team like the Wizards, who, again, are just trying to take swings on talent, like he's a perfect guy to put next to Alex Sarr. Because they're going to run a ton of pick and roll, and he's going to throw him up lobs, and they're going to go in. And he's just a really creative player. He's really fun to watch. I really like this pick for them. I think it fits the timeline, and I think it fits what they need to do moving forward.
All right, I like your style, Will. We're going to be looking at Bub. Young Bub. Good job.
Shrimp stew.
Are you guys surprised that
Shrimp and potatoes.
Are you surprised that
That's about it.
Connect is still here on the board?
No,
No, not from what I've
No.
learned from Will to go Gottlieb.
not surprised.
I feel like I got like peer pressured into liking him more than I actually did. I put him at
Say
14.
no to drugs and say no to Dalton Connect, Will.
Look, he's 23 years old. He was an electric score, 30 points per
He
75
was. He
possessions.
could put the ball in the bucket, man.
He's an athlete. He had like a 40-inch vertical at the combine. He can get up and dunk. He can create his own shot. He can catch it, catch and shoot. He can catch on, shoot off the move.
For sure.
He can create his own shot. He's very dynamic, but he's 23. He broke out as a fifth-year senior.
Okay.
And I just feel like, teams are not necessarily prioritizing older shooters at this point in the draft. We're seeing a lot of young teams prioritizing upside. And that, I think, is what you're supposed to do when you're in the lottery. You take chances because you don't always get those chances to add talent like that. It does not, it's maybe a little bit surprising just because people had him mocked in the top 7. So to see him fall out of the lottery here, but I think he makes a lot more sense on a team who's already better. I think he's going to have a chance to be a better player on one of those teams where he doesn't have to carry too much of an offensive load. He can just come in and take shots when they're available to him. So I think it makes sense, and I think he'll find a good landing spot maybe.
So I have your big
Before the
board.
20s.
I have your big board pulled up on the screen. For those watching at home, highest guy available still on your big board, Will, is Isaiah Collier at 10.
Collier's still on the board.
Connect at 14. Kyle Ware at 15. Tyler Smith at 17. And then Holmes, Missy, McCain, some of those guys. So still A lot of talent on the board.
Missy is a name that a lot of people thought might climb up at the last second. Interesting to see him still on the board here.
Yeah, I think he's still within range. There's a handful of centers. I mean, Khalil Ware, Deron Holmes, I really like. He's kind of a dribble, pass, shoot, rim protector.
Our friends over at DVR Nuggets are really hoping he falls
Yeah.
all the way to them.
Absolutely.
I think I would take him before that. I have him at 18, but for me, and I think like you mentioned my big word, Joey. I think it kind of reflects my philosophy on drafting. Like I want to take upside swings, and so Isaiah Collier, he's a guy that has been mocked in the early 20s. I think he's like a top 10 pick for me because he has a chance to be a really special creator with the ball in his hands.
Yep.
And the downside is there for sure. If he doesn't hit, then he could just totally flame out. But I think he makes sense for a team that really wants to rebuild. And honestly, I think the Heat could be a great spot for him because they have been kind of noted as a team who's interested in younger guards and upside. So I think he could make some sense next to their core.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I have a very important super chat that we got to shout out immediately.
Oh, okay, let's do it.
Because it comes from our guy, Mr. Strick. Larry Strickland.
What up, Strick?
Super chat. Who said, I got a pick with Carm at a Bulls draft event and a shot with Jim. 50 is starting strong with CHGO.
Shout out
Strick,
to you,
again,
sir.
happy belated
Shout out,
50th
Strick.
birthday to our guy out there. Also, no one should
Strick.
ever be excited about getting a picture with Mark Carman. Ever.
Really?
And a shot.
Ever.
What about a shot with Jim?
A shot
What
with
about
Jim.
a shot with Jim?
It's a shot. I'll be like, I'll take a shot.
Hey, everybody, when you see Jim, go up to him and ask him how much he weighs. Just do that. Like, trust me. Just go up there and
You
ask
really
him
blowing up Jim's spot
how
like
much
that?
he
That's-
weighs.
You
He
blowing up Jim's
loves
spot
it.
like that?
Go ahead. No, I'm
Out
serious.
of pocket.
Go ask him. Go ask him, baby.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
He won't mind. He enjoys that, man. Shout out to Jim. Did he leave? Where's Jim go?
Tweet from the
I
official
think he's right behind Joey over there.
Oh, okay.
Chicago
I'll tell him
Bulls.
to come in here. I'll
Hey,
tell him
Jim.
to come in. Go ahead, Joey.
tweet from the Chicago Bulls account. Meet the young bull, Matas Buzelis. Check. Explosiveness, versatility, athleticism. That's what they're going with.
Explosiveness, versatility, and athleticism.
You gonna do the weaknesses? Or?
Somewhere Gar Forman is creaming his pants.
I can't wait to watch what he said during his interview.
Oh.
That looked like that was some good stuff going on in there. Will,
Yeah.
is there any quotes on that from the interview that he was having right there?
I did see somebody in the comments said, thank you. He said, thank you for doubting me. That's the only thing I've seen.
You're welcome.
He said, I'm blessed, man. This is what I wanted. I wanted to be here. Thank you to the Bulls org. I'm ready to work. I was born for this. This man has
crazy.
Deion Waiters type
Yes.
of confidence.
And being drafted to
talking
the Bulls,
crazy, yo.
what he means by I was born for this is I was born to lose in the play-in tournament.
Is that what it was, man?
Yeah.
You just gonna get him in, huh?
Am I wrong?
Maybe. We ain't seen him play.
Because that's what being a Bull is right now.
Well, right now.
I was
sure.
born for this. Atlanta Hawks, we'll see you in the 9-10 game.
Shout out for being in the
Fucking
draft.
Christ.
It's a draft pick.
We got another pick in here, Joe.
What the draft pick do to you? Good God.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing at
He's
all.
just out here living his life.
I'm just
trying to
salty.
improve this team.
I'm just salty.
Trying to improve the squad. What you've done to poor bat. More Coors Light for this man.
Oh, Jesus.
We need that chill mindset.
Dude.
Needs to be embraced.
Not enough Coors Light in the world.
Oh, well, we're going to find out. Definitely going to find
We're
out.
going to find out.
Shout out to Coors Light, man.
Hey, bartender.
Yes. Shout out to Coors Light.
Did you say we got another pick in?
I don't know. Fisher's gotten one thing wrong tonight. Do we trust him?
No.
We can wait on it.
I think we wait for
We can
Woj
wait
or
on
Shams.
now,
Jake
yeah.
Fisher is suspended.
Yeah, the big dog stomped on
There's
me,
a
bro.
reason I don't have Jake Fisher alerts on my Twitter account. I got Woj and I got Shams.
And he was
And
wrong.
he was wrong.
He was wrong.
He was wrong. He was wrong.
Wow,
0
this
for
is
2.
a rough night for him.
Ooh. Oh, for
Wow.
two.
Okay, so the pick is in for real now.
Okay.
From someone who's not Jake Fisher.
Okay.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. He's having a tough one. He needs to cross the cold Coors Light. That's
He
what
does
needs.
give us fun things to talk about in August and September.
Yeah, yeah.
We good, Joe? All right, the pick is in.
There it is.
Miami Heat, who just agreed to terms to keep Bam Adebayo, their three-time All-Star big man, around, are taking IU's Khalil Ware with the number 15 pick.
Wow.
Wow.
That's interesting. You
Wow.
don't like that, Jim?
I like him. I mean, there's like the whole question about his motor and his intensity and stuff, and you never want to hear that with a center of all positions, right? Like you need to have that back line of defense there. But, I mean, the skill set, you cannot deny it. He's bouncy, he's long, he's a great rim protector, he's a great lob catcher. And I think what's interesting about him is in addition to being that like rim roller, rim protector, rebounder, big, he's also got some upside as a shooter and as a passer. And so you put him in this Miami Heat system, they're not going to tolerate lack of effort. They're not going to tolerate it.
This is
so
crazy, by the way.
I like him to really hit his peak and reach his full potential.
There were so many Bulls fans pounding the table for Kel'el Ware. A lot of Big Ten basketball fans, a lot of Indiana fans, and of course, the Heat get him, and they're
going crazy.
It's already starting. It's already. If this guy turns out to be a real player, we'll never hear the end of it.
Nope, sure won't. But like Will said, he's on the right team for that because he cannot come in to the Miami Heat talking about little lackadaisical, you know what I'm saying? Not coming in with that motor to play with because they won't tolerate that at all. They'll put him right on the bench. He'll never play. So, yeah, he's on the right team, man, like to develop that kind of thing and got the right coach, too, one of the best coaches. If you can argue, if not the best coach in the NBA in their exposure.
And I mean, they just locked up Bam. I think he makes sense as a guy who could play next to Bam, too. Bam,
good point.
With the ball handling, with his ability to like run dribble handoffs and just play more kind of a perimeter-oriented game. I think you need a guy on the back line like Ware. Obviously, they're not going to play him in closing minutes when you've got Jimmy and the rest of their group out there. But it gives you another look, and we've been talking a lot about that tonight. But I think it's really important to have upside and versatility both in your scheme and just your style of play. And I think the Miami Heat hit a home run with this pick.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of Bulls fans wanted Kel'el Ware.
Yeah, I've been told.
Southgar's on the comments just saying, OMG, I'm done. Ben Him 922 saying Heat culture is real. Will 07 saying Ware, Bam, Jimmy, Hero, Rozier, Heat starting 5.
Gary Ross said he would be flipping tables if he was here.
You want me to flip a table, Gary? I know Gary, shout out to him. He was hanging out in the Discord, CHGO Bulls Discord for the diehards out there earlier today, talking about how he wanted to make it tonight and wasn't going to be able to.
Gary's the best.
Gary is the best. I will flip a table for Gary if he wants to.
Why don't you start with one of those over there? Those tables right there.
The ones that are bolted into the ground?
Oh, they are? I didn't know that.
You want me to look like a weakling?
No, I just want you to look like Matt. He's angry. He's upset.
I'll turn this goddamn bus around. That'll end your precious field trip pretty damn quick.
Of course, shout out to you. Look at the chill mindset that is happening right about now.
All chill.
Oh, I love it. I love it so, man. But yeah, I like, because, man, I know you like Ware as well.
I do.
I know you were pretty high on him.
I was just for the sake that I think I was just kind of tired of watching the Vooch Bulls for 3 years. And Kel'el Ware, in a lot of ways, would be the antithesis of that as a big man.
Yeah.
But as crazy, bouncy and long as he is, there were also people questioning his motor. So if you're talking about a dude who's he's not going to be a floor spacing big for you, but what he can be is a just classic pick and roll, rim runner, crash the boards kind of big, who can also provide some rim protection. When you hear about a player like that, motor is a question, it's a little bit of a turnoff. Yeah, so I was high on Kel'el Ware to a point, but I wasn't the Bulls should take him at 11.
Sure. But again, he went to the team that will put an end to that. Or he'll put an end to his career with that team.
Yeah.
One or the other. So, yeah, I mean, that says something about him a lot, though, that they know that he has that kind of low motor, but we know what they value in Miami. And for them to still go ahead and take him and say, well, no, we can get that motor in him. We can put it in that kind of engine right there. Yeah, that says a lot about his talent and what he can actually bring to the team.
Do you think he's going to embody the dumb words that they put in the paint?
Oh, absolutely. They're going to have him get there.
Culture?
They're going to have him memorize it, and he'll have to recite it every single day in the summer league. That's just what's going to have to happen for him.
Pat Riley should die of gonorrhea and run the hill.
What did Pat Riley do? I watched him get destroyed by Jordan. I'm good, man.
Been a more successful executive in the NBA after the Bulls dynasty ended 26 years ago.
Fair. But like I said, I get to see him lose a lot to Michael Jordan, so I'm all right. It's all right. Shout out Pat Riley. The Heat can ride now.
Southgar saw in the comments saying, dudes are texting me now about how this bullshit Heat culture is going to be back. I'm done, unless Buzelis is the real deal. Dude, okay, here's the thing.
Fans, I love y'all.
If Heat culture is back, it never left. It's a dumb saying.
It's a thing.
They went to the finals.
They did.
Twice.
Yeah.
With Jimmy Buckets
They went
as
to the
their
conference
guy.
finals 4 out of 5 years.
Yeah.
Have they won a chip?
No.
I'm not worried.
Not concerned.
I'm not concerned.
Are you a little worried that Jimmy Butler might not be there with the
Well, it
Heat?
sounds like the report was from earlier that he is going to get to free agency, but I think he wants to stay in Miami.
Sure.
I just feel like that's just
Par for the course?
They're going to ride that one.
Okay,
I just
all right.
don't see Jimmy going anywhere else. Maybe to Philly, but like, is that really a better situation for him?
No, I don't. It's hard
There's
to leave
just as much
when
health
you're the man.
questions there. And also, like, the lifestyle. It seems like,
Yes.
that seems to be a big deal for him.
Bro, he's the man. You know what I mean? In Miami. Like, it's hard to leave that and go be the second or third best player on the team where it's cold outside all the time. It's going to be tough for him to give that up, man. But he's got to make some changes. I like how Pat Riley called him out. This again, why I like Pat Riley. He called him out, dog. Like, dude, you ain't even playing. I think you should shut up. This is what I think you should do.
When things get tough, Dave, you don't just find the first door and walk out. Remember when he said that to
I do,
LeBron
to
James,
LeBron, yes,
but not
I remember.
actually saying it to LeBron James?
I remember
My
it very
favorite was
well.
when
God, I love
LeBron and D-Wade and Bosh went into Pat Riley's office and said, "We don't want Spoelstra to be our coach. We want you to be our coach." And he was like, "No,
Right.
sorry, deal
That's
with
not
it."
how it
and
works.
now Spo is the best coach in the NBA. And has
Matas
been for
Buzelis,
years.
for the record, did tweet out about 20 minutes ago, Chicago, I'm home, heart emoji, let's work, hashtag Bulls.
There it is.
Buzelis!
From Hinsdale.
You know they're gonna milk that one.
Yeah, oh my God.
You know
They
they're
better
gonna
not say
make
from
that
Chicago.
You
I don't
can't
wanna
say
hear that.
from Hinsdale.
I ain't trying to hear from Chicago.
No. And they can't say from Chicago because he's not from Chicago.
That's right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I don't need no manipulation of this, all right? You are from where you from.
I'm glad that you and I are on the same page.
Oh, yeah.
City kid.
Yes.
Suburb kid.
Yes, bro.
If I were an NBA player and the Bulls drafted me, I would not say, hey, say from Chicago in the starting lineups. That's just wrong.
No, it's completely wrong, and
Right.
we'll see what
I
happens.
tell them to say from Highland Park
That's how you rep, Joe?
Yep.
That's how you rep?
on my chest.
Oh, yeah.
And we've already got Io.
Yeah.
Morgan Park product.
Correct,
Legit
correct.
from Chicago.
Yeah, no doubt about
You
it.
know they're gonna move back in to get Terrence Shannon so they can have just
Oh my
every single
God.
They have
Chicago
Javon
area.
Carter,
Oh
too.
my God.
And Javon Carter.
Yep,
That's
Javon
our
Carter.
third hometown kid.
That's true. Joe, would you rather say from Highland Park or from the University of Texas?
Oh, from the University of Texas. Not even close.
All right, just check.
Gross.
Just check.
That's worse.
Worse.
Yeah.
I'd like him to say, from the University of Texas, hook him under his breath.
We can talk to Tim and see.
I don't think
Winner
Tim
of the
Sinclair
last-
is going to do that.
Winner of 3 of the last 4 Directors' Cups. Joey Strathers.
Word. When this happened? Like, shout out young Joey Strathers.
Yep, shout out
It's never too late to enter the NBA draft, Joe.
It's true. You can
Our
do
buddy
it.
Sabine did it at age, what, like 35?
He did. Had a suit and everything. It was
So
amazing.
how does that work? I was thinking, does he get to be like in 2K then? Like, do they scan his likeness?
Buzelis, yeah, I'm sure they're going to do that for all the picks, or
No,
at least the
Sabine.
first round picks.
I'm saying Sabine.
Oh, does he get to be in there?
When he
Oh,
entered
absolutely.
in the draft, did
No,
2K come out and
Yeah.
be like, "Yo, we need to get your
No,
body scanned"?
absolutely. He can buy the game and put himself right in it right there. John Sabine.
He
Yes.
filled out the paperwork.
Yes, he did.
His name would be in the system.
Yes. He had a press conference and everything. It was amazing, Joe. Joe, it was off the chain. You should have been there.
That's how boring it was being a Bulls fan in 2019. Sabine was like, I'm going to enter for the draft. Let's see what happens.
We've got another pick
I
in.
do believe we have our next pick in, Joseph.
All right. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Wow.
Give me a second here.
You get one in? We get one in?
Yeah,
Kyle
meanwhile,
Filipowski's
Dude.
still available.
on the broadcast, Connect being shown on the broadcast, still there, waiting. Dalton Connect, wait.
We'll see.
76ers here.
There it is.
Sixers selecting Jared McCain with the 16th pick
wow.
in the NBA draft.
Okie dokie.
Dalton Connect continues to slide. Isaiah
Slide.
Collier also still on the board. What do you make of the Sixers taking McCain here at 16, Will?
To me, that was a trade spot. I thought that the Sixers would try to use that pick alongside one of their contracts to bring in a Kyle Kuzma, somebody like that to kind of jumpstart whatever it is that they're trying to build around Embiid and Maxey. But McCain, great player. Smaller guard out of Duke, but just electric shooter. Really gets him up. Kind of actually similar to Maxey, not the same speed demon up and down the court, but smaller guard. He can really shoot it, create his own shot. And I think that's what you want when you're building around Embiid. You want space for him to operate. You want shooters for him to be able to kick it out to. And you need a guy like a Jared McCain to come in and be that backup to Tyrese Maxey, continue to run the show, get them up in transition, make sure they don't become too plotting of a team, which really plagued them at times.
Sure.
So I like this pick for them. And he was around that area on my big board. And yeah, I feel kind of, committed to what I was saying earlier about Dalton Connect. Like, it just makes sense. I know a lot of people are surprised he's falling. They just showed him on the broadcast.
Yeah.
It's making sense to me. And, even the Sixers, I think, would have been a good spot because they need shooting.
Yeah.
But they don't want to sacrifice defense. They don't want to sacrifice playmaking. I think, McCain, not a defender, but he can give you a little bit more dynamic off the bounce.
Okay. And Will telling you the fit that's going to happen in Philly. This
This
thorough,
is true.
Man.
Meanwhile,
You're good, bro.
this
really good.
Coming from a tweet from Casey Johnson, back to Matas Buzelis, the Bulls pick at number 11, citing Derrick Rose as the Bull who most impacted him while growing up in Chicago.
Fair.
That's like Roma Dunze saying Devin Hester is his favorite player.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right.
Also, just, that's a punch to the gut for us older folk.
Why is that? Tell me why.
Well, because I'm older than Derrick Rose.
Oh, yeah, I forget that.
So when you
that
hear
bothers
about
you all the time.
when you
yes.
hear about a prospect, you're like, who's your favorite player growing up? And they're like, Derrick Rose, or like Kevin Durant. You're like, Jesus Christ.
What are you going to do when your niece is Victor Wembanyama?
Dude, no. My niece's favorite basketball player is probably like 12 years old right now.
Yeah, fair point. Well, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Victor's going to be like 30. Yeah, you're right.
Victor's going to be the LeBron of the NBA by the time my nieces have a favorite player.
Let's not bury the lead here. All right, pick 17. Wonder if we can get it going in the bar. We want Bronny. We want Bronny.
Someone take this man's mic.
Yeah,
Come on.
right now. And I mean right now. Shout out to
been a long
McCain's suit, though. I like he walking up like he about to perform a song. Shout out to him, dog.
Yep.
That boy clean.
He does look pretty clean.
That takes confidence to not wear a shirt under there, bro. That says a lot about him. Look at that. Jack, look at this brother. Shout out to him, man.
He's got...
Oh, yeah, he mean that.
He's also like a TikTok star. Like he's
Oh,
just
there
such
it is.
a
There it is.
a
Makes sense.
zoomer.
All right.
You know?
Who needs
Makes
the
sense.
NBA
I
when
get
you're
it
making
now. I
TikTok
get it.
money?
Hey, that's that cash, baby.
I hear the kids like the TikToks.
I've been told.
Yeah.
I've been told. I like how Emma shows you the TikTok dance out there and put you down with what the kids are doing. Yeah, there it is. There it is. There it is.
Kev tried to get me to do TikTok like a year ago.
No.
I downloaded it for like a day. I made one video. I was like, fuck this bullshit.
Yeah, no, it's not for everyone.
That's a young man's game.
It's not for everyone.
By that, I mean a dumb person's game.
Matt, so I'm thinking
Shout
here.
out to all of our CHGO TikTok followers out there.
Matt, I wanna question you a little bit about what you were saying earlier about the direction of the Bulls and how you're still skeptical, to say it.
It's a
politely.
very nice word.
To say it
Very
politely.
nice, Will. Very nice.
It didn't happen in the way I think either of us would have really wanted, right?
So-
Like ideally you load up on picks for Caruso.
Yeah.
I don't think either of us can be like super upset with Buzelis. He's an upside play.
Sure.
But they do seem to be trending that direction. Obviously, what Casey reported. What needs to happen for you to feel a little bit more encouraged? Not necessarily fully bought in, but just encouraged about the general direction of things. Because to me, I am starting to see that change a little bit. And I'm not saying I'm totally buying it because still they've got to deal with Zach. They've got to deal with DeMar. You've got to bring back Patrick.
No, they got a lot of work to do.
They've got a lot more work to do, but they've made two moves now that I think, to me, again, they're not tearing it down and starting over and collecting a million picks like the Nets.
Right.
I think that's problematic in some ways.
So,
but what needs to happen for you to just feel a little bit more encouraged?
So based on the two pieces of evidence we have as far as Bulls transactions over the last 72 hours, or a little more than that, trade Caruso away, bring in Josh Giddey, take Buzelis when Devin Carter is also there.
Right.
What do those two things have in common? Trending younger. If they are trending younger, and that is the biggest hint we have to them actually reshaping and pivoting away from this busted-ass continuity 3.0 that doesn't work, then yes, I am a little bit encouraged by that. But they still have gigantic, difficult things on their to-do list to see that plan to fruition. Can you get rid of Zach's contract without giving up assets to do so? Can you maybe get a couple of minor assets in a sign-and trade or an extended trade for DeMar DeRozan? Because those two gigantic things on your to-do list are still there.
Yeah.
And those are the next two things if going younger with Giddey, going younger with Buzelis is what you are actually focusing on. Because they can't split hairs and do both.
I think you're spot on. They have a lot of work to do. And like I said, this is not like in my ideal world how things would have worked out. I think it would have been better to like really collect picks. And obviously they waited too long. There's a million criticisms you can throw at them for the past couple of years. But starting from where we are today and the offseason that they've already started to have, I think the process to me is more important than execution.
Yeah.
Going younger, going with upside, going with length, going with athleticism. Like those are encouraging signs as we've got another pick in here. But and again, I'm not gonna like. I think the DeMar free agency or extension trade, sign and trade, whatever that becomes, that's going to be a huge indicator of what direction they're going.
Yeah.
But to me, I feel like what they've shown so far, that's encouraging.
And we've got another pick in, Joseph.
Hit it.
Boom! Shams saying the Lakers are taking not Bronny James Jr.
What?
But Dalton Connect, who finally goes off the board at number 17 to the Los Angeles Lakers.
It's a good fit for him. You know, in basketball especially, when guys fall, I always feel like it's a good thing for certain players because you actually get to the team that actually you fit with, that really kind of needs you. And the Lakers needed this kind of guy right here, man, because they're going to be going from the inside out, especially when you got a guy like Anthony Davis, who they run their offense through. I'm glad they came to that realization that it's Anthony Davis they usually running it through. But when he's in there in the post trying to do his thing, you're going to need guys around that perimeter to kick it out to, man. And Dalton Connect, if anything else goes wrong, first of all, shout out to his chain, but if anything else goes wrong, he's going to put the ball into the bucket if he's open. They need more of those guys on that team to spread that floor.
Yeah, we talked about fit being important for him and, you know, going with win now production versus upside. And I think the Lakers are clearly a team that, I mean, you've got LeBron James, you've got Anthony Davis. What do you need to do to be successful? Put shooting and defense around him.
Yeah.
The defense is going to be a question, but he doesn't have to, like, create offense now. You've got Austin Reeves, you've got LeBron.
Exactly.
Depends on what other kind of trades they make. They've had rumors of being interested in guys like DeJounte Murray and Trae Young. He is going to come in and just light it up and shoot a ton of threes. That's what he's best at, and that's what they need him to do. I like the fit a lot, and I think this makes me more encouraged about his career now that he lands in a place where they're going to make use of his best skill and put him in positions to be successful.
I'm laughing at this Jake Fisher tweet.
I know, I can't take it seriously now.
He said, let's try this again. Let's try this again. He tried to tell who's the next pick going to be.
Wow.
Oh, man, dude.
I mean, credit to him for just, keeping a positive frame of mind.
I like that. Shout out Dalton. Look at Dalton Connect. I mean, the chain says a lot. That's why he was upset.
Yeah, it does.
He ain't going early. He ain't about to spend all his money on that chain for it not to be seen. I need that to be seen.
I like Connect with J.J. Redick as head coach, too.
I forget about J.J. Redick. Cool. Yeah, another shooter out there. Yeah. Who might prioritize him a little bit more.
Good guy to learn from.
That's a good point, Joe. That's a very good point. What an interesting team.
You know what our wonderful social media coordinator, Emma, just asked us in Slack is that when we're doing the giveaway. Ooh. So let me just remind the folks out there, if you didn't get a raffle ticket, grab one now. We're giving away an autographed B.J. Armstrong jersey tonight, y'all.
Look at it.
Compliments of our friends at Collector's
Look at
Stadium.
it. Love it.
He wrote three-peat.
He wrote three-peat on it.
B.J. Armstrong signed his jersey and wrote three-peat on it.
Is that Emilio over there? Can't see. Is that Emilio?
Show the front.
I can't see.
It's a different... Like, it's got Chicago across
Yeah, it's got Chicago on the front. How about that?
But what matters is what's on the back.
Armstrong on the back. Autograph authenticity sticker right there on the one. Friends of ours at Collector's Cave donated this for the giveaway tonight. Make sure you got a raffle ticket from Emma, who's walking around with us if you don't have one already.
Go to Emma.
We'll give it away a little bit later on tonight during this first round of the NBA draft.
Yes.
Well, just kind of tuck this back here for safekeeping.
And then when you get it from her, say Slay. She loves that. Say Slay when you get it from her. I promise you. That's the move right there.
That's how the young folks do
cool
it.
As
stuff
it turns out, Jake Fisher was correct on this one.
Let's go,
The new
Jake.
pick is in, Joey.
Hey!
Yeah.
Hit it, Joe.
With the
go ahead.
18th overall pick, the Orlando Magic are taking Tristan da Silva from Colorado.
Colorado.
Hi.
We had them on the show. We had our guy Jake on the show talking about those Colorado picks and Tristan da Silva. He truly loved. Talked very highly about him and thought he would go high in this draft, like in this first round, in the early 20s, man. He thought whoever was going to get him was going to be getting a serious kind of player. Yeah,
Da Silva was a late slide for me personally on my board, but 6'8" and a quarter without shoes, 6'10", wingspan, very much a 3-and-D player. He's older. He's 23 years old, I believe, tonight, and he's going to come in and be a small forward who's going to defend one position, and he's going to shoot threes. And that's super valuable in the right context. I think the Magic need that. Between Wagner and between Paolo, they just need size and they need shooting to space out the floor. He's not going to create much at all. He's not going to put the ball on the floor, but he can maybe make the extra pass from time to time. Defends well at his position, does not rebound super well, but I think he's a good fit there, and clearly a situation where they're looking to add younger talent that's ready to win now around their young core, and I think he makes sense there. They need help in the backcourt. I don't think this precludes them from being able to find that, but to me, Isaiah Collier would have been maybe a better option here, just because I think he puts a lot of pressure on the rim, but at the same time, he's a non-shooter, and so you've got Suggs, Wagner, Banchero, Wendell. You need floor spacing out there, and Collier's not going to give you that. So I don't hate this pick. I think he's a good role player, but to me, I probably would have seen him slide a little bit further. Yeah,
I can see that too. I'm a little surprised at how early he went. I thought he would be towards the end of the first round kind of basketball player. But you're right. He has those kind of tools, man, and he's a very smart basketball player as well. But he's got that motor that I like so much as well, man. He enjoys that physicality when he's out there playing. So it's a good player.
Prototypical 3-and-D wing.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like most people have him in that 15 to 30 range.
Yeah.
Wavering from 15 to 30, but in that range. Jamoy Fowler in the comments saying, we're done, no more picks. Claudio asking, are we expecting a trade for the Bulls tonight? That is an interesting question, because the Bulls just kept their pick at 11.
They did.
Didn't trade up.
They did not.
Didn't trade down. Took Buzelis. But when the question is, they have a lot of things to figure out still.
Yeah.
Do you want to see the Bulls try to somehow get involved again on night one of the NBA draft?
Not really.
I don't think so. I mean, the only moves I really think they need to make right now are DeRozan and Levine.
Right.
Yeah.
Is a team gonna
who
give
wants
the Bulls
Zach
a
LaVine?
late first?
Give us the 28th pick in the draft.
I don't really see that. Reminder that there's also a second day. The second round is tomorrow.
They love second round.
Start at I believe 3 p.m. So
more
trades could happen then. But to me, I know the Bulls like Terrence Shannon Jr. a lot. He worked out well for them, but I just don't know how else you get back into this draft. And is it really worth it at this point? There's some centers out there I still like, Deron Holmes being one of them, Yves Missy, another. There's some good players here still. So it wouldn't surprise me if they wanted to go out and try to get one, but I just don't really know what assets they have to deal with at this time. And if they are going on this kind of rebuilding youth movement route, then they need to be collecting assets, not giving up stuff to get them. And so to me, I'd be fine waiting this out. I mean, of course, if you can find a Levine destination and that gets you in the draft, sure. But I'm not putting bets on that just because I think he's not going to add value to them in a trade. I think they're going to either have to dump him or attach an asset to do so.
Yeah, I think you're right. That second round, I think, might be more telling, because we know AK loves the second rounders. So that might be a little more telling as far as them getting back into the draft and who they value like that. I mean, we saw them do it with Julian Phillips when they traded two just to move up to get him. But I don't know if it's anybody that is okay, it's one thing to move up. It's another thing to get back in. I don't know if I see anybody that's get back in worthy unless you're going to go get Bronny James. Just for the opportunity. What are you saying? That's it.
Honestly, that's the most I've ever appreciated Kendrick Perkins ever.
Okay, what did he say? I missed
it. As a commentator.
Okay.
Is one day, I can't remember which dumbass ESPN show they were on, but everyone's talking about Brian James. Where's he going to go draft? Where's he going to go draft? Sure. And Kendrick Perkins just basically said, hey, if this wasn't LeBron's kid, we would not be talking about him.
No, not
because he's either going to be a late second round pick or undrafted.
That's correct.
Why are we wasting our time on this?
And I did want to give a shout out to Sam Vecini, who had this nugget on the Ryan Russillo show, which I know Peck is not a fan of, but
it's a long
he
list.
said, I believe, and I told this to Will earlier, Bronny would be the first one and done ever picked that is under 6'1" and averaged under 5 points a game. First player ever in that threshold. If he was not LeBron's son, probably not in the conversation.
I mean, it's just flat out nepotism.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Brother
Yeah.
Dave agreed
You
with
guys
that
remember
one.
that? You guys remember that great NBA career from Jeffrey Jordan? Oh wait, no. How about Marcus?
Marcus was the player.
Oh wait, no.
Marcus was the player. That man was averaging 13 a game.
Whitney Young.
Did you say player or player?
Player. Wow. Don't.
Wow.
It's the next big injury. No. Okay.
He's quick. He's got a quick wit.
Shout out Larsa.
Shout out Coors Light. Cold lager, cold filtered for a smooth finish.
Goes down smooth, man. Really
Goes
does.
down smooth. That's ready for that karaoke house party. That's what he's ready for.
At the Goat's house.
Y'all, where else? Where else? We're crashing. I can't wait to get up in there.
Did you tell Sasha yet that you're hosting a karaoke party?
I have not informed her yet.
You want us to do it? Like we can do it?
I think it'd probably be better received from you guys.
You want us to tell her?
Actually, I think she would be more on board with that than I would.
Okay. Oh,
I feel like she would be down with it.
Yeah. We finally got another pick in. That was a long break.
Hey, pick is in, Joseph.
Give him a second to get it together.
This is going to be my second to last pick, and then I'm
Second to
gonna
last
have
pick?
to
Okay,
dip out
that's
and
right. Will actually has
go
a
do some
job to go
media.
do.
Yeah.
Listening to AK talk about Matas Buzelis.
He has to go be a grown up. He has to go do grown man things. And shout out to him for that. I know you're excited to get there and hear these things. I'm excited to hear his interview. I am. There it is.
Toronto Raptors selected Jacoby Walter with the number 19 pick.
Shout out to Kobe Walter.
That is a name that I would occasionally hear tossed in to Bulls conversations, but always a name that seemed like 11's too high. There's a lot I like about his game, though, Will.
Yep, 19-year-old, not quite 20 yet, 3-and-D wing from Baylor, 6'4" in no shoes, 6'10" wingspan, 38.5-inch vertical, very much a 3-and-D player. Not like great size to where he can slide up and guard fours, but some 2s and 3s, I think maybe some 1s. But, he's got some creation upside. I think he is going to be a little bit limited with the ball in his hands. Isn't going to have to do a ton of that. You've got Emmanuel Quickley. You've got Scotty Barnes, who they just locked up on a Supermax.
Definitely.
There's a lot of players in that Raptor system, and what they need is space around them. And I think Jacoby Walter is a great option there who can defend, who can shoot, and who can attack closeouts. So, he was a guy that I think was kind of in the early teens, late lottery area towards the end of the college season, but has slid down obviously now to 19 for the Raptors. I think it makes sense for them. He's young too. I think he does have some upside as compared to Dalton Connect, who's 23. So I like the pick. Not like the flashiest. I still may have considered Isaiah Collier for them. They need to be swinging for the fences as well. But they do have some of their core established with Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel Quickley. Is RJ Barrett there? Yes.
Yeah.
Confusing my trades. But,
No, you're okay.
I think he slides in well next to those, similar to who they picked last year.
So, Will, just looking at your board, who are you a little more surprised that is still available? Because Filipowski's
still
out there.
right?
Collier's still there.
Yeah.
Who are you a little surprised is still
I'll
available?
pull up Will's big board right
I'm
now.
not surprised Collier hasn't been picked. I was much higher on him than consensus. I would say this is kind of the Duron Holmes, Yves Missy area. I know a lot of teams liked Filipowski. Johnny Furphy was a guy who graded out really well in a lot of analytics models. He's a big wing who can shoot it and rebound.
Carlton Carrington still on the board?
No, he got picked.
He got picked.
got
That's
picked.
Bob Carrington.
Bob Carrington. So I think, there have been some reaches, but for me, most of these guys are kind of in the right slots right now. And I think as we trend more towards some of these more win now teams, the Suns are picking 22. The Cavs are up on the clock now at 20. You've got the Pelicans. You've got the Bucks. Some of these teams I think are going to start to go for some of those role players.
Okay.
And I think that makes some sense.
Another name that Bulls fans have talked about, at least a decent amount, we talked about him on our show the last couple weeks, Kyle Filipowski, the big man from Duke, still on the board.
Yeah, I like him. It's just the arms that is the only turn off about him, dog.
T-Rex.
That's it. The T-Rex
Got
arms.
the T-Rex arms.
Is it. Everything else I like about him as a basketball player.
Yeah.
But, except for the fact he went to Duke. But everything else I like about him as a basketball player, man. So,
Johnny Furphy from Kansas, still on the board.
ooh, I forgot about him.
Ryan Dunn, the
Ryan
guy
Dunn.
that we talked
Ryan
about.
Yeah,
Dunn
we
still
talked
on the
about
board.
Ryan
And then
Dunn,
obviously Illini product, TSJ, Terrence
Yeah.
Shannon Jr. still
Yeah.
on the board.
I think TSJ might go late, 30th. or maybe even get into the second round, but early. You know what I mean? Like that might happen for him in this draft right here. So.
I believe I mocked him at 23 to the Bucks.
Okay.
And I feel like that's the kind of situation where you've got like your pillars. You got Dame, you've got Giannis. He can slide in, defend, drive, score, but doesn't have to do too much.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a little bit more win now ready for a team like that. Mm-hmm. And that was a concern that I had with the Bulls being rumored to draft Terrence Shannon. It was like, are we really entering a rebuild here? Looking at 23-year-old, 24. I mean, he's going to be 24 before the first game of this season.
Right.
So, like, to me, I'm looking at upside, and that's why I was much happier with Buzelis than I would have been, even trading down and picking up an extra second and getting a guy like Terrence Shannon.
I understand that. Yeah. We're going to get into that Buzelis talk later, too. I got some more questions for Matt. I got some more things to say.
Meanwhile, Rob in the comments saying the Bleacher Report's count for Matas Buzelis is Hedo Turkoglu. I've seen that before.
I'll take it.
The Buzelis Turkoglu count.
I've loved watching Hedo.
I mean, I love Turkoglu. I will never get over the Kings getting hosed in that Western Conference playoff series against the Lakers. Ever.
Yeah.
As a Bulls fan, I watched that series and was like, Kings got hosed.
They did.
And I love Hedo Turkoglu.
Yeah, shout out to him. And that team was stacked, too. That Kings team was stacked top to bottom. Had a great team, but they were like Rick Adelman's new Portland Trailblazer team. You know what I'm saying? From the 90s to the 2000s. It's the same kind of stat. Go ahead.
I don't see Hedo as much because Hedo is very, like, slow, methodical, like, kind of surgical player. Buzelis is very, to me, I find him to be kind of sped up. I think he needs to come.
Twitch?
Yeah, but also just like trying to like play fast.
Okay.
Hedo is trying to play slow. I think if Buzelis can get to a point where he is a little bit more physical, he can get to his spots a little bit more, he can learn to be a little bit more like DeRozan, that would be awesome. But right now, I see him as a little bit more frenetic, a little bit faster, a little bit sped up. But that's a lot of young players. You know, most young players are not playing at a slow pace. And I think, that's what makes guys like Luka so special.
Well, yes, absolutely right. It's going to be interesting to see, man. So you think at the Cavs at 20, I mean,
the pick is
that's such a weird team. I'm curious to this. That's a weird team.
It is a weird team.
I'm very curious.
All the talk about whether or not they're going to be able to convince Donovan Mitchell to stay.
Yeah, the answer is no.
If I were Donovan Mitchell, I'd be like, why the hell do I want to stay in Cleveland?
Right.
As a wise man once said.
That's two. Joe Kim no references.
What's so good about Cleveland?
Two. We should take bets on this.
The Cavs pick at number 20 is in Young Joseph.
As is 21. 21.
I'll stay. I suggest you hit, sir.
I like to live dangerously.
Cavaliers taking Jalen Tyson off the board at number 20. What do you make of this pick, Go?
Yeah, he's an
Last
interesting
one before we
player.
get out of here.
He's kind of a do-it-all wing. He can score a little bit. He can shoot a little bit. 6'5 and a half, 6'8 wingspan. 21 and a half years old, playing out of Cal Berkeley. But he scored at a high level. He's a good rebounder. He can facilitate. So I think he fits with what the Cavs need. I mean, they've been kind of searching for. You've got Garland Mitchell. You got Mobley Allen. Who's that three who's going to come in? Obviously, you've got Max Strus who can give you the shooting. But is there a guy who can be a little bit more dynamic with the ball in his hands, who also defends? I think they're taking a swing on a guy who profiles to be that kind of player. I like Tyson a lot. I was expecting him to go a little bit later. He didn't have the best season, and kind of a weird route to where he was transferring after his second year. So interesting player, but I really like the fit, and I think he does work within what the Cavs are trying to build. It doesn't limit them to, okay, now we have to trade Garland, or we have to extend Donovan. Like, he gives you some versatility with how they can play.
Interesting. Do they pick a coach yet? Do they have a coach?
Kenny Atkinson.
Thank you.
There you go.
Kenny Atkinson.
A name that was on the Bulls' radar back when they were excusing the ball ahead of menism before they hired Billy Donovan.
Yes. Oh, I remember. I have not forgotten that.
That it for you, Goat?
Yeah, I think that's going to be for you guys. You guys got the last 9 picks here. There's another one in, but
Should we go to this next one that's in?
You want to?
Let's do it.
You want to? So, Matt, you're the host, sir.
Well, you're the producer, and Goat has a press conference to go to, so I should not be in charge of that decision.
Just want to say real quick, thank you to everyone who came out to join us.
Thank you.
Goat's taking off, y'all. He's got to go do the press conference.
Really appreciate it.
Give a hand for the Goat.
Give a hand for the Goat.
Give it up for Goat Gottlieb.
Knowledge personified. Way to go, Gottlieb, ladies and gents.
Go to that press conference and tell AK to keep trading shit.
That is a smart young man right there. That's who he is.
We do have another pick in, so let's get right to it.
Let's get
Take
to
us
it.
in, Joe. The New Orleans Pelicans at 21 selecting Yev Missy. Woo!
Oh, yeah, that guy.
The 7-footer from Baylor. I mean, dude, I heard a lot of Bulls fans saying they wanted Yev Missy leading up to this draft. A lot of those Bulls
Tell
fans
me
who
why.
were saying, like, for the love of God, don't draft a guard.
Yes.
We need a big.
Yes.
Vooch is bad and old.
Yes.
Draft a big.
Yes.
Yes, Missy was on a lot of those names,
Yeah.
on a lot of those lists.
Well, shout out to him.
I mean,
I hope he does wonders for them.
7-footer from Baylor.
You can't go wrong with a 7-foot. Like I said, this was the draft for the big fella. And so that's why I'm not shocked, but a little shocked that Zach Edey went. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is the draft for the big men. If you're going to be drafting centers and you're going to come up with those kind of basketball players, then this is where you're supposed to do it at, bro. Like in this draft. Like they are a plethora of those big dudes.
It's interesting to think about that move while we're also wondering what the heck the Pelicans are going to do.
True.
Are they going to try and find a spot for Brandon Ingram this offseason?
Right. What are you going to do?
Valanciunas is another name that keeps getting thrown around as far as offseason moves.
Big group picture going on right next to the set.
Oh,
Which is
group
why-
photo!
Oh, okay. Big group photo happening. Matt's
you
gotta
guys want to
stand up.
stand up. Stand up.
Hold on. We got to stand for the group pick.
All you out there on YouTube, hang tight. We're taking a picture.
We're live potting and taking a picture at the same time. Emma's taking a photo.
See red, y'all! Cheers! Cheers to
We're seeing
y'all!
all kinds of
Cheers to
red.
y'all!
I'm not sure how that one translated to the audio feed, but
We're about to find out, aren't we? We're going to find out. But I'm sure it helped.
if you're listening at home, we took a picture.
We took
Emma
a photo.
took it. It's
happened.
hopefully beautiful.
Yeah, we saw it. It's a family moment. That's all that was, man. We needed one of those. Shout out to Joey for that. I got you, Joe. Just give myself a little stretch there, Joe.
Let me get a little
I know we've been
Give me
we're a little
stretch
more
there, Joe.
a little bit more tight than
You
usual.
know what I'm saying? We just taking a little one. That's
No,
it.
I wasn't saying to sit. I was saying you can slide this way now.
Oh, no, I will.
Slide to the left.
You know the big fella on that, brother. You know I'm on that for real, man.
By the way, how's that mini AC unit treating you down there?
How's the what now?
The mini AC unit.
Oh, look. Look. When I tell you best friend is happening up in here. Hey, Melissa's here. Yo, what up?
Melissa's here!
Hey,
Let's
yo,
go!
Hey. Yo, I didn't see none of y'all. Yo, my fault. What's up, man? Wait, that means Salim somewhere.
Brought the cool people for the
Salim's
back half
here.
of the party.
Amelia, a.k.a. Paro Junior Sports, is also here. You didn't say
shout
hello
out.
to me at first, which was upsetting.
Hey,
but
hey,
it's
hey.
okay.
You took that personal, Joe?
I took it personal.
Yeah.
But it's okay. You don't want to disturb me. I understand. I'm working hard over
You're
here.
working hard, man. And shout out to you, sir, for doing all the hard work that you're doing, Joe.
Nah,
You do all
unnecessary.
kinds of
Joey's
love,
wearing
sir.
his tail off.
Shout out to
Working
you.
You guys
his
could
freaking tail
stay
off.
standing, by the way, if you want. I adjusted our camera, so
Oh, did you?
whatever
Oh,
you
okay.
want.
Well, yeah, well, that's what's going to happen. This is going to happen right here. Is,
I was
stand
actually
up.
about to take a 30-second pit stop and
Well, you do that,
have
sir.
you guys entertain yourselves.
I got your back.
You can do it.
You
I'll-
can take a pit stop when I,
I got
come
your
back.
back. I got your back.
I'll step
Luckily,
in
my
here
bladder is strong.
with my man Big Dave.
I keep that strong bladder going, so I'll be okay right there, man. Come on in, Joey. Come on in, have a seat. Talk to me about
This
Matas.
is what the people wanted.
Talk to me about Matas, sir. Tell me your
Dave.
feelings on him.
Big Dave and Joey should have a.
You've been waiting on that sitcom for a long
yeah,
time.
a
huh?
sitcom for sure.
You've been
I
waiting
don't
on
know, maybe not a basketball pod, but a,
Yeah.
a sitcom would be great. Of
I
our
think a sitcom
friendship.
be entertaining.
Matas,
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy, honestly, with it.
Okay.
I agree with what you said. He's a guy that, like, similar to when we were talking about the Ron Holland conversation,
Yeah.
he has the pedigree of a guy that was going to be a top 3 pick
Yeah.
for a lot of this season, for the most part, until it's sort of shaken down
Sure.
later in the draft process. But the upside's there, the size is there. He has shot it inconsistently, but I think we've seen with Peter Patton, like that's an area that the Bulls can get guys up to speed, hopefully. And I don't know. I mean, there's a grain of salt, obviously, with all these guys, but like we talked about in the deep dive episode on Matas, if you're going to take a swing on somebody, I like taking a swing on a guy with that size, that length, that can handle the ball, and I think at the very least, can be a good connective piece, can finish plays. Hopefully, he projects to be a good, weak side defender and can get better on the ball. But I like the pick. of all of the outcomes, this is one that I think is way on the more positive spectrum for me.
No, I think you're right. And as I said before, like watching all the tape of these players we watched, he was literally the first one that I said, whoa, ooh, like of the moves that he was making and the things that he was doing on the floor, because the athleticism that he had.
He's a legit athlete.
Like a super duper athlete.
He's a legit athlete with some crazy size.
Yeah, and he's got a little handle. Of course, that's going to have to get a little better. But he knows how to use his size, even though he doesn't have that handle, to make you, as long as you can get you leaning a little bit, he'll be at the rim laying that joint up because he's got that long wingspan as well.
He seems to be decently fluid as well, you know, in the way he moves.
Yeah.
And so I hope that he can continue to put it together, develop the handle, and there's definitely pieces there that you could see him being successful in the league, 100%. Like, my thing is that there's a lot of guys that I think maybe Bulls could have taken that I don't even know that necessarily would have had a higher floor, but not as high of a ceiling as Matas.
Very true. So very true.
I like it. I think I'm going to have to nail down, what is it? Are we going Matas or is it Matas?
I'm sure he'll tell us.
We're going to find out.
He'll let us know, but it's Matas right now.
It's Matas right now.
That's what we're rolling with right now.
Matas right now.
Till we don't know. My man Joe. That's my man, y'all, right there. Basketball Joey, a.k.a. 21 Joey, a.k.a. Chatty Spathis.
I'm saying Matas for the record.
Matas? That's where you going? Okay.
Yeah.
Matas,
it just sounds a bit more intimidating.
Matas Yahoo, shout out to him.
Buzelis.
Yeah, man. And can I say also, shout out to the wait staff here.
Hey.
Shout out, because they are working hard doing their thing.
All the wonderful staff at PB&J here
shout out to
West
Marissa
Loop.
over there doing
They're working hard.
Shout out to her. Look at her working. Look at her working. Look at her working.
On a weeknight.
On a weeknight.
Wednesday night.
It is a Wednesday night.
All these people got to go to school tomorrow.
It's the summer. It's the middle of the summer.
Families to support.
Big Dave, you know what I think it's time for?
Tell me.
Our social media coordinator, Emma, told us it's time to have one lucky Bulls fan here hanging out with us at PB&J walk home with an autographed BJ Armstrong jersey.
Hey,
compliments for our friends at Collector's Cave.
Let's go.
Everybody pull out them raffle tickets.
If you got a raffle ticket, pull it out right now. We're about to read off who is going to win this autographed BJ Armstrong jersey. You're going to want it. Then you're going to want to mat it, put it away. Show them the good stuff, man. Show them the good stuff. That's the good stuff. There it is. Says 3P on it. Why? Because he won 3 of them things.
Authentic sticker autograph, BJ Armstrong.
Shout out,
His name on the 1, 3P on the 0.
That's called skill.
From our friends at Collector's Cave.
That's awesome stuff.
Emma, who is our lucky winner tonight for this autographed BJ Armstrong jersey right here?
All right, Emma, let's do it. Emma's in there. She's drawing. She got her eyes closed.
Emma's eyes are very closed.
Eyes are very closed. She is focused.
She's about to draw her own number.
Pull it out.
110. Who's got 110? Who's got 110?
Who's got
number 110? Who was it?
Who's got 110?
Who's got 110?
Come forward.
Anybody have?
Anybody?
Hey,
there it is.
110
in the building.
Get up here. Get up here.
Congratulations.
There it is.
Come on, come show it off. Show it off.
Come on. What's up, my guy? How are you? You come on in, man. Come on through. Come on in. Show the people what you got. Looking at the BJ Armstrong jersey right there. Congratulations, good sir. Look at that right there. Now, what you want to do with that jersey? What are you going to do with that right there? Hold on. Yeah, go ahead. Put that on right there.
Yeah, we got a big interview coming up here.
Yeah. What are you going to do with it? First, tell the people your name.
My name is Brandon. BDams92 in the Discord.
Damn right.
Yeah,
CHGO Die Hard.
Yes, Damn right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yep. And what am I going to do with this? Man, I'm going to hang this up and put it on my wall.
Yes. I like your style.
Yes, sir.
I like what you're thinking, man. Do you have any other Bulls memorabilia on your wall at home?
I do not.
So
no.
this will be the big one.
Yeah, this is the big one.
That's a good
My
thing to have.
girlfriend and I just moved into an apartment.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Shout out. You got your lady with you too? Shout out.
Yep,
All right.
yep.
Shout out to the lady.
Yeah, let's go.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Is that his jersey or did you have? That's his? Okay.
That's mine.
all right.
That's my D-Rose jersey.
Oh, man. See, that's when you know it's love right there.
Yeah.
He gave you a jersey. So you know it's serious, man.
Yes, sir.
My man.
All
Congratulations, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Good job
Thank
to
you.
man.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, man. Oh, that's good stuff right there. Look at that. Got a jersey and love at the same damn time. This is good stuff up in here. Hey, what up, yo? Oh, the crew done rolled up. What up? Oh, me there too. What up? What up? What up? That's Stephanie too? What up, Steph? What up? Damn, everybody done rolled up. Listen, you're not here You done messed up. Is all I'm telling you. You should be up in here having a good time, man.
Big Dave, we got a trade here.
Oh, snap. Hold on.
We
got
got a
work.
trade.
I'm still doing work, Joey.
And
Read
we've
the trade.
got the pick that is in.
Read 'em,
and it
Joe.
is a member of the All-City family. The Denver Nuggets are trading up with another member of the All-City family.
Phoenix?
Trading up with Phoenix. They are going to select DeRozan Holmes, the big man from Dayton. I like that pick for Denver.
Okay.
I like that pick a lot for Denver.
Not bad. Tell me why, Joe.
A versatile big man, I think, could come in. I think they've, for a long time, have been looking for a quality backup big behind Jokic and a guy that could just eat up some minutes. Think about when they had DeAndre Jordan back there. Think about when they had Thomas Bryant. That didn't work out. I think they need a guy that can help Jokic, especially in the regular season, soak up some minutes.
Okay.
So I like this pick a lot for the Nuggets.
Joey enjoys
Wait,
it, man.
I'm just catching up. I was saying hi to our fellow Bulls brethren. Did the Nuggets just get DeRozan Holmes?
Yes.
Oh, I love that for them.
Yeah.
Shout out to our DMVR Nuggets crew. I'm sure that they are happy because they would not shut up about DeRozan Holmes in the last week.
They would not. They continue to talk about him a lot.
And the rich get richer.
Yes. And that's good for them, man. They needed, that one thing they needed was more size. You know what I'm saying, on their squad. I mean, outside of Joker, who you bringing in? You know, DeAndre Jordan. like, he already told you what his role is going to be, and that's to be Udonis Haslem. So we know what he's going to do. But, yeah, they needed this size. I mean, no better team to come into than a team that's always going to be competing for a championship for the next 5 years at least.
Or will he be playing himself in Season 2 of the Hulu series Clipped? Because I wouldn't mind seeing that happen, too.
I have not watched one episode of that yet.
Dude, okay. I think I only watched the first 3 so far.
Yeah.
Outrageous. Outrageous.
Like in a fun way? Like I gotta watch
this? In a
this?
super fun way, but in a way that's like, this is cosplay, but like the laziest cosplay that's ever existed.
So like Lifetime movie kind of?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
The Nuggets are sending the 28th pick, the 56th pick, and then 2 second-round picks to Phoenix, which they used to take DeRozan Holmes, obviously, and this will just continue to drive the rivalry up between the PHNX Suns and the DMVR Nuggets family.
That rivalry won't stop, baby.
I love
that. Keep going.
So basically, the Nuggets gave up a swap of moving up from 28 to 22, giving up 56 this year, and then 2 additional second-round picks in future years.
Okay.
So they basically just traded 3 second-round picks to move up 6 spots to get their guy.
All right.
Which lets you know how much they love DeRozan Holmes.
Oh, it's magic. Like, yes, they loved him very much, man.
Never believe it's not so, Dave.
Couldn't believe it's not so. Oh, we do it all up in here.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me when you have a team that's that close to winning and competing year in, year out.
Yeah.
You'll celebrate to a crazy extent picking a player like DeRozan Holmes, who you think can just take you a little bit over the edge. You know, think about how much more the Bulls need and how much, no matter what happened, there wasn't going to be that much. Like, it's such a different. It's just their franchise in a completely different place.
Yeah, Joe. Let me bring it back, Joe, to the times when the Bulls were in the championships a little bit. Let me walk you inside for a second.
Dave,
let me walk you. Let me walk them. I just want to say this.
I'm not ready to cry, but okay, go ahead.
Well, I have that kind of effect, sir. I have that effect. Just want to tell you, Joe, when they were picking guys, it was always never an important time in a Bulls fan's life because we always knew, one, we were picking last, so we didn't care who was coming. We hear names like Mark Randall.
Shout out Corey Blunt.
Jason Caffey. Dickie Simpkins. Yes, your favorite, Joe. Dickie Simpkins. We heard names like this. We didn't care. It didn't matter because we knew we were winning the championship. That's all we were about, and that's what we were focused on. And the draft meant nothing to us.
No,
that was
really
a great
didn't.
time. It's a great thing, man. I promise
We didn't need the draft.
No, we didn't need it.
We had MJ.
So everything we got was a bonus.
Yeah.
Like, so if Jason Caffey came in and he could provide something, great. That was awesome. Cool. Wonderful.
Sure.
But now it's different. It's a little different. Now you're up in this draft. You got to pick somebody that matters to you. But I'm just telling you, there was a time where it didn't matter.
It didn't.
And we just won, Joe.
Shout out to Lebowski 5 Comments
that
who just
would be
threw out the
awesome.
name Corey Benjamin.
Corey Benjamin. Oh, snap. I
South
forgot about
Garcon
that.
just dropped a Rusty LaRue.
No, Rusty mattered. That was the problem.
Rusty mattered.
They had to draft him because he mattered. That's like when they were drafting Khalil Elamine and all them guys like that. But, yeah, man, I'm just telling you, there was a time. There was a time that was going on like that. Hey, y'all. Hello. Too cool for the world. How are you? Come on in.
How are you?
Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining the show. Thanks for enjoying what we do. How are you, sir?
That's my husband. My future
Hello, husband.
We just got married.
Just
Mazel
got married.
tov.
Well, congratulations. And they spending it here, hanging out with us.
Celebrating your love.
Celebrating
by watching
love. That's the second
Bulls
couple.
Draft 11.
That's two couples that
Hey,
came in
here's
here.
the other half of the couple
That's
right
the other
here.
half of the couple. That's the other
23?
23.
Nuggets
23rd
just
pick.
traded up to 22 to take Deron Holmes. So, yeah.
First round.
Well,
Yes.
the NBA split it into 2 nights, by the way.
What do you guys project Bronny?
Bronny, I think second round. I got Bronny in the second round, probably a little later going there. I do project him to the Lakers. We'll
If
see what
Logic
happens,
wins out, undrafted.
I'll draft him right now.
You'll draft him right now just to get LeBron, you're saying.
You have leverage.
That's what he's thinking. Matt,
Yeah, I don't think Pac loves that one.
the love just left the building just that quickly.
I don't think
just
Pac-
floated right out
I don't
of
think
his
Pac
LeBron
likes that
just
idea.
said the
not
other
cool,
day,
man.
pivoting. Actually, I was just kidding. I don't give a frick if I play with my son or not. It was a fun idea. I don't care.
Yeah, that's what he said.
What did LeBron say?
He said, I don't care about playing with Bronny Jr.
He did.
He said, it's not something that I have to do before I retire. It was
You've
a
seen
fun
that face
idea,
before,
but it's
haven't
not
you?
the most important idea
Yeah,
as far as
yeah.
where he's going to go now.
Yeah, not your first time
So
seeing
if
that
you
face.
want
Yes,
the Bulls
yes.
to like trade back in the second round to take Bronny James because you think that that would bring LeBron to Chicago, A, that's not the way it's going to work, and B, you wouldn't want to anyway because LeBron can die of gonorrhea and run hell.
Here's Chicago was on Dwayne Wade. That's what it
No? Okay. Say it again, sir.
I said LeBron James, anytime he's going to come to Chicago, so Dwayne Wade is going to come to Chicago.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going, wait, okay, now we got to stop this. No, we got to, no, you got,
Is that?
I don't want this man that angry. All
Pac
right,
is about to
thank you, sir.
explode.
We got to keep him. We can't have him that angry.
Pac is about
Appreciate
to
you.
explode.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, friend. Thank you. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you. You can't bring up D-Wayne. like, thank you, man. Can't bring up. See, man, I care. See, I
Hey,
care.
okay,
See, I care.
okay. You know how I can spin this positively?
Oh, tell me.
Go Chicago Sky.
Hey,
Go Sky.
Go Sky.
Go Sky.
Go Sky. Thanks for the happy
The
couple,
only
man.
hope for Chicago basketball being relevant anytime soon.
Thanks for the
Go
beautiful
Chicago
couple.
Sky.
Look at that, man. Everybody's coming through showing love. This is the beautiful thing. Look at Jake in the corner just worn out. Just like I want to go home. But he can't because he loves us.
Dude's
very
working
much.
hard.
Working hard,
Dude's
man.
working
A lot
hard.
of hard work going on, man. But Bulls Nation is in here, y'all. Y'all should be here too.
Dysfunctional comments. It was then that CHGO decided to hire security.
I knew when to say when. Let me just tell you. In my years of doing this, I understood the situation. I was like, I'm needing out. Oh, there we go. Splack out. Shout out, man.
Robin the comment just said, drinking on the job is fun. It is.
It is.
I'd rather be smoking, though. Well, hey, stop by your nearest Sunnyside Cannabis Dispensary.
Correct.
Shout out to them.
35% off if you use the code HICHGO.
Look
Use that code.
Got it memorized.
Oh, man, it's right up in here. They say it affects the memory. No. Remember those things clearly, sir.
Brain and your mind.
And your mind, too. Both of them things at the same time. But, man, I want to talk. So, Matas, right?
Yeah.
Matas. I want to call him Matas.
Matas.
I want to call him Matas.
I really,
so bad.
I want to always just say Matas. Like, exactly with that inflection.
We should do that from now on. But with this young man
Yeah.
and what you've seen, because we kind of talked about him when we broke him down.
Yep.
And you liked him. You thought he was cool.
I do.
But you weren't, like, in love with him. As far as his game.
Like basically every player in this draft class, there are things I liked about Matas and things I didn't like about him. And primarily the thing I didn't like was that he shot horribly in his one season with the G League Ignite. And look, like you said, you like the confidence of this young man who said, I don't care that I shot poorly. I know I can shoot. I'm going to shoot better when I get to the NBA. This was a bad shooting season.
Right.
You want to take him at his word. And there's a lot that he can do beyond whether or not he can shoot that the Bulls need right now.
Yeah.
Like run up and down the floor, free-flowing offense, make cuts, be a slasher, be an off-the-ball threat, be also someone in a weirdly similar way to Giddey who can like create also when he's being, an on-ball creator. Defensively, I'm gonna just put a pin in that and see what I see when we see him get his first run in like preseason games.
Yeah.
We'll see if he plays in summer league. I hope he does because we're going to go out there and watch.
He better
in a few weeks. But like, there's a lot of upside in a lot of different areas. I don't like that we drafted someone who's not a shooter. Not someone who I can confidently say right now at this very moment is a shooter.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
And that's honestly my only drawback and my only criticism. I know a lot of people in the comments are like, "Oh, Peck wouldn't be happy with anybody they took tonight." That's not true.
Yeah.
I had people in this class that I liked. Like when Ron Holland went as early as he did, I was shocked and I was a little disappointed because I was hoping he might fall. Like I would have been a little bit eye-rolly, but I would have been okay with Devin Carter.
Okay.
Buzelis falling all the way to 11? Like, maybe Goat's right. Maybe it is that just every team ahead of the Bulls, 1 through 10, had their own priorities and their own plans.
Yeah.
And Buzelis is a top 5 talent that ended up falling. I hope that that's the case.
We'll see.
I'm just saying, I've got a lot. He's got a lot to prove to me to be excited about this pick.
Okay.
I hear that. I am cautiously okay with this pick.
All right. I'll that's a big step for you. So I will accept that, what you're saying. For me, let me start with the defense. Help defense is where he shines. Now, as far as like everything, on-ball defense, having to guard those wings, he might struggle with his footwork a little bit. But his IQ on that end of the floor when it comes to being a help defender is pretty good. And if his defense in the post, if you're trying to back him down and make moves, it's solid there as well because he has that pretty long wingspan, that 6'10" wingspan.
Yeah.
So it's solid on that end. Everything else, you're going to have to be concerned with. But I think a lot of it comes with his weight and, you know what I'm saying, and his strength. And there's a pick in.
Pick us in.
Hit him with it.
This is A.J. Johnson. A.J. Johnson from the NBL.
Wow.
Via Fresno, California, but he goes to the Bucks.
Wow.
With pick number 23.
Didn't see that one.
And
wow, look at him, Matt. That's a young fella.
Oh my goodness.
Young fella. Look, he coming from the stands. That's a new one.
Wow.
My man came from the stands. Okay, that was a new one, dog. I ain't seen that one. Shout out to him. Good job, young fella. That's Sue.
Yeah, wow.
He looks 12.
It's a young.
Joe, he looks younger than you, bro.
Well, he is.
Although, also, like, kind of following a trend of Bucks draft picks in recent years.
Yeah.
In the Giannis era, when they're like, hey, we're a good team. We're always towards the top of the East in the standings. We're always picking it towards the bottom of the draft.
Yeah.
Let's take really young guys who are upside swings.
Trade alert.
Trade alert.
We got a trade alert, Joe.
And that is the Knicks, who are trading back. They're trading pick number 24 to the Washington Wizards.
The Wizards.
And it will be the Wizards' third first-round pick of the night.
Wow. Wizards been busy.
Super busy.
Wow.
Wow, Wizards ain't playing. Or the Knicks.
Also,
both of them been busy.
I get that the Knicks are trading at least one of these picks. They got back-to-back 24-25. The Knicks yesterday just made a big trade to bring in Mikal Bridges from Brooklyn and gave up a lot of draft capital to do it.
True.
It seemed like a no-brainer for the Knicks to take at least one of these two picks and say, let's trade down, trade out, and recoup some of what we just gave up to bring in Bridges.
Correct. And again, when people saw the Knicks and the picks they gave up, please understand the Knicks still have like 11 picks over the next 7 years. So they still got enough picks, to be okay if something goes wrong. So you can make that kind of leap and take that kind of risk on a guy like Mikal Bridges if you feel it's going to move you towards the championship. So I get it.
Yeah.
Again, Knicks can go to hell. But I get it. It's a smart move, and I understand that. But you're right, Matt. That's also showing how their intelligence, saying let's recoup some of that we lost, move back a little bit, and maybe we can still pick up some younger guys. And I think they might be looking at guys with size, and maybe some shooting and stuff like that. But yeah, they're in a good position, man. Like the Knicks have been smart, and also this is the end of Julius Randle. It's a wrap for Julius Randle.
I mean, let me ask you guys a question. Did any part of you guys last night expect the Shams alert? The Bulls are expected to go all in on Julius Randle in their effort to continue continuity.
No,
You
man.
couldn't have seen that happening.
No, I quit paying attention
That
to
would
all
have been
of
the
it, bro.
most Bulls ever.
No.
I don't know if it's a sign of personal growth. That thought did not occur to me at all.
Not one bit, dog. Not
No.
one bit did I
That
think about
scared
that.
the shit out
I
of
did
me.
laugh
Yeah.
and roll my eyes when that B Scoop Jackson tweet came out last
I
night.
paid
That
no
was-
attention. Shout out to my man, Scoop.
The Bulls
I ain't paid no
are,
attention, bro.
along with Houston and Dallas, a team that has some level of interest
Yeah.
in Kevin Durant.
We was like, all right, and what's else going on tonight? Like, I just kept moving, dog. Like,
Oh, the Bulls have some level of interest in Kevin Durant.
Another pick is in.
I have some level of interest in getting handed a free mansion.
really, man, I've had that same thing. That's crazy.
Pick is in.
Pick is in, Joe.
This is Keyshawn George to the Washington Wizards. I like this one for the Wizards.
I thought you hit the song on that.
I did. I
he
it
did.
just played
I
quietly.
didn't. I was very quiet. Okay.
Keyshawn George, Wizards. I like this guy. A little bit bigger frame for an elite shooter. 6'7", really can put it up from beyond the arc. High volume, was good last year. And I just think guys like that, there's a clear avenue for him to at least, finding a role in the league. So I like that for Washington.
You said pick 24?
Yeah, 24. And as far as the other side of that trade, Sham saying the Knicks trade 24 to Washington for number 26 and 51. So essentially, Wizards spending their 51 second-round pick to move up 2 spots from 26 to 24
Wow,
to
okay.
take their guy,
Okay.
Keyshawn George.
That's not too bad in this kind of draft. And I think we're going to start seeing a bunch more surprises. And again, I can't believe Kyle Filipowski's still there.
Dude's
He's
still there.
Still there.
Which,
dog.
it makes me feel a little bit better as someone who is an NBA fan and a quasi-college hoops fan. And this time of year, from, late April to June, I start paying attention to draft prospects.
Yeah.
I watched Kyle Filipowski, and I was like, nah. I don't want that or need that as a Bulls fan right now.
He's a bigger Grayson Allen, man. He's got a lot of Grayson Allen in him.
Oh, why you do that?
I'm being
What is
100%
this?
serious.
Listen, you just saw me move somebody out of here
Prolific
for D-Wade.
Duke player.
You gonna bring up
Prolific
Captain
Duke
Vincent?
player. Multiple incidents.
I tried, man. Just know that. Just know I tried.
It doesn't surprise me. What I'm saying is that Matt does not want Kyle Filipowski. That doesn't surprise me. That reads.
He said that reads. That
He's
reads.
got a little Grayson in him.
Got a little bit in him, huh? A little bit?
I'm telling you, he had a little controversy this year, getting into it with fans, make a couple dirty plays.
Okay.
Duke player.
Yeah, well.
I mean, did they deserve it? Was this a Ron Artest situation?
No, it was.
They
It was a
deserve
little
it.
weird. He was fans storming the court, and he collided with people, but it sort of in the replay looks like he was sort of throwing his own body into them. And there's a couple other instances. He got
Interesting.
dragged a little bit this year, but it's not really fair. He's a young kid.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, we know why Matt doesn't want him. Thank goodness he's not going to be a Chicago Bull. We don't have to worry
It's the
about
first time
these
I heard that come.
That is my first time too. I tried. I did my best.
I was just like,
quail that.
he's a short-armed white boy from Duke.
Yeah.
I don't want him.
Yeah, fair. That should have been the end of it all right there. Should have shut it down.
So the Knicks who did come into this with 24 and 25.
So
and
now they
traded with
have
so now they have
25 and
26.
26.
Yes.
So they're now on the clock
They're
for
on
the
the
next
clock.
2 picks.
Correct.
Do you think they walk away with Filipowski? I mean, if we're talking about he's that agitator.
I think the Knicks are just going to waive their rights to picks 25 and 26 because, as Tibbs always tells us, he has more than enough to win.
He does say this a
He
lot.
doesn't need any draft
This
picks.
is his thing.
I
This
do
is
think
his
the
thing.
Knicks will target a center because I think, especially with the trade and the OG Anunoby extension, it's going to be difficult for them salary-wise to retain both Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein. So
Yeah.
I would expect them to maybe take a big year. And
agreed.
Filipowski does give them a different skill set from either of those guys. Stretch the floor a little bit, good playmaker. And so I could see that.
Look, there's no way that they are keeping Hartenstein. I just don't see it at all. Hartenstein might get 20 mil on the open market first season, bro.
Man.
I don't see how they hold on to that.
After the Bridges move,
You feel me?
and it's
I
going
don't
to be
see
hard.
how that happens,
it's going to
bro.
be hard to keep Hartenstein,
Exactly,
man.
bro. I don't see how that go down that way. So it's going to be different. They're going to flip that up. And we'll see how it happens, bro. We'll see how it
We'll
happens.
see how it
We
happens.
will see. Knicks can go to hell. Never forget I said it. And I mean every single word of it. Yay. Give a damn if Tibbs play that.
How you doing, man?
Oh, I
You
feel
good?
great.
You
Listen,
good?
I'm having so much fun, dog.
I'm having a good time,
I'm
too.
having so much fun, dog. Like, this is everything. I wish y'all could see all the people that are here, man, and just all the Bulls fans that are here,
Bulls
just
Nation.
hanging out, enjoying each other, having a great time, bro. Like, it's just mad cool, bro. So this is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful situation. Thank you for being here.
I was gonna say if you needed to take a quick
What?
two, Briscoe's right there. I could grab him and
Briscoe.
make him put on your headset.
Come on in, Briscoe. Come on in. Come on in.
The one and only Derek
Hey,
Briscoe.
give him Wills. Give him Wills.
Give him Will's headset. There you go. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Oh hey, and Miss Melissa's here too. Look at this. Look at
We
this
got a whole crowd
family of Bulls love.
Bulls content creators. What up, Briscoe?
Briscoe, the Nothing But Bull Podcast. Bulls fam in the building. What's up, buddy?
Hey, nothing much, man. We didn't get a guard.
No?
No.
Briscoe, pull the mic in a little.
It's like we picked somebody that's over 6'6". So.
We did. We did not take a 6'1" Kentucky guard. Are you feeling okay about that?
I'm okay with it because we need somebody that's gonna be able to replace Boots. Hopefully soon.
How long did it take for Briscoe to bring up Vooch? How long was it? Was that under 30 seconds? So, I mean, do you feel like the Bulls, after the Giddey Caruso swap, and now also taking a young prospect who's also a little bit of a project like Buzelis, is signifying they're going to continue blowing this up? And are you happy and optimistic that that's what's going to happen?
I am very happy and optimistic about no more continuity and no more
3 years was
competitive.
enough, right?
Yeah. Let's not run it back anymore. And see what happens.
So, what's the next step for you? Like, if you're AK, you get Giddey for Caruso, fine. You bring in Buzelis tonight on draft night. You currently don't have a second-round pick coming into tomorrow. You still have to maybe try to find a divorce for Zach LaVine. You still got to make up your mind about DeMar DeRozan. What to you is the next big priority for the Bulls front office?
I think it depends on if Paul George gets traded. And
Then the DeMar signing trade.
Yes, then it's the DeMar signing trade. If Paul George doesn't, then you got to look at moving Zach.
Right.
But mainly you want to try to get some draft capital. Maybe throw our friend past considerations and get a pick tomorrow.
No, the Bulls don't give away cash considerations. They only take them in. We know this to be the be-all, end-all golden rule for Mr. Reinsdorf, right?
I mean, maybe this is a change signal. Then
So if you are in favor of, hey, can the Bulls maybe find a sign and trade for DeMar DeRozan, are you also okay with trying to recoup Zach LaVine's trade value and keep him around until maybe next season's trade deadline, which is an idea that a lot of fans are wondering is maybe possible?
well, yeah, if you move DeMar, so you don't have to pay him that like $80 million extension.
Right.
So then just try to see if you can raise Zach's trade value and maybe get something that's not salary filler and bad picks probably protected knowing the Bulls.
So how do you feel about giving up assets to get off of Zach's contract?
At this point, if we're actually rebuilding, it wouldn't be a good idea to get up
Yeah.
additionally just to get off his hat.
I think I'm there with you. Like, it would hurt to give up assets to get off of Zach's contract at this point. Like, you hope you could still find some sort of salary dump. But the name of teams is dwindling as far as who's interested, right? Like, maybe Sacramento is still kind of interested in Zach for some reason. Maybe the Pistons are. But that's the end of the list, right?
Yeah.
Like, who else out there is knocking down the Bulls' door for Zach LaVine right now?
I think anybody is knocking out Zach's door at all.
Do you feel like Zach has like something to prove? if the Bulls don't find him a trade, like who more do you fault for the fact that this Bulls Zach LaVine divorce hasn't happened yet?
AK.
Okay.
It's different.
It's on AK?
It's on AK. Even the Caruso trade, not getting a pick, it's on AK.
How are you not going to pick, man? How?
How are we talking about how there's nobody breaking down the Bulls' door for Zach LaVine? The door, there's not even a door on the frame. There's an empty frame, and nobody's even willing to walk through it. AK has removed the door. He's taken away the door. Everyone could see right into the room. Nobody is interested in coming inside.
Not a single person.
They're definitely not breaking down the door. That's for sure. That's for damn sure.
But yeah, as far as Zach having something to prove, I mean, you were a two-time All-Star, and you were the franchise guy at one point.
Right.
And so I wouldn't be happy if nobody wants him.
It's crazy to think about where we were a couple years ago with Zach LaVine trade talks and where we are now. It's just like, hey, he's a two-time All-Star. Can the Bulls get a handful of picks, maybe? At least a couple of picks? Any young player?
And
We got a pick in, Joe? Pick is in.
This is Pacome Dadia to the Knicks.
And
The
this-
Frenchman.
Woo!
Not to the Kings, to the Knicks.
To the New York Knickerbockers.
Yes, sir.
Was that 25 or 26?
That was 25.
Okay, that was 25. So the Knicks have another one coming up after that.
Good shooter, good size, wing, high potential. Not sure he's going to see a ton of playing time for the Knicks this year, but makes sense in theory. So, sort of surprised, like I said, that they didn't go with big, but yeah.
6'7" and 3/4 at the combine. Weighed in at 217. 6'9" wingspan, 36-inch vertical. Interesting pick there for the Bulls. For the New York Knicks, who now have the very next pick here at 26. Let's see. What do we got as far as best available still on the board?
So I'm taking a look here at Goat's big board.
Yep.
Collier's still on the board.
Wow, Isaiah Collier has fallen all the way down here.
Isaiah Collier's still on the board.
That's wild.
Tyler Smith. Yeah, from the G League Ignite,
Still
a guy
here.
we talked about. That's a guy I'd like the Bulls, if it worked out for them.
The
guy that could
defensive ace
shoot.
Ryan Dunn from
Yep.
Virginia.
Dunn, who Will had them linked to a couple times. Johnny Furphy, he's talked about the wing from Kansas. Kyle Filipowski, we've talked about a ton.
Terrence Shannon Jr.
Terrence
still
Shannon
on the
Jr.,
board.
Of course. So still a couple interesting names. Nikola Jurisic, who I believe is teammates with Topic. So a couple of interesting options here, yeah.
Interesting.
I'm curious here. I mean, I guess it makes sense. The Knicks could target a center here at their next pick.
Do you think that they would maybe feel like we need to take a backup pick on the front court if we can't manage to keep Hartenstein around? That makes sense.
Listen, if they end up keeping Hartenstein, I wouldn't be shocked, but I think that would require them to move off of Mitchell Robinson, and I would be surprised if they were able to retain both of them just with the cap situation that they're in. So again, that would make sense to me, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, they know more about their situation obviously than I do.
Man, Briscoe, does it bum you out that Tibbs is just thriving with the Knicks? Like, does it bug you more than I don't know, what's another comparison of a former Bull going on and finding glory and happiness somewhere else? Like,
I mean, it doesn't compare because it's the Knicks.
It's the Knicks.
I hate the Knicks.
Right, exactly. You and I are the same generation. Hating the Knicks is our job.
Yes.
Hating the Knicks is our job. But man, for that little sprinkle of time when they had not only Tibbs, but they had DeRozan and Taj on that roster, how much did that break your heart?
They had Noah too, right?
Oh yeah. When they had Noah back in the day, they threw a big bag of money at Noah and he got hurt. And then Knicks fans hated Joakim because he got paid a lot and got hurt.
And we just hated them because they had.
Briscoe, that was my first time meeting you late, man. Well done. Great job, sir.
Give it up for our guy
Thank you,
Derek
sir.
Briscoe, y'all. Give it up for our
This
guy
is the
Derek
coolest
Briscoe.
man going right here.
Nothing but Bull Podcast.
Nothing
Check
but
him
Bull.
out.
Cool. I don't know nobody with more bull stuff in my life than you, dog. And literally from head to toe, it's bull stuff. It is impressive.
Can I be honest? Anytime I see you drop a new fit on social media, I'm like, damn, he looks fly. Slash, and I say this with all the love in my heart. Stop buying that Bulls merch, man. Stop buying that Bulls merch.
I knew it was coming.
You knew it was on the way. That train never late. That train never late.
You look so fresh all the time.
See, it's hurting your heart because you know how cold he looks.
Stop letting Jerry win.
It's not, man. He loves his team. Go ahead.
Right.
Explain yourself. Explain yourself, sir.
I'm supporting the Bulls, and it just so happens that Jerry gets a portion of that money. So it's like a love-hate thing.
That's it.
Yeah.
Love, hate. Except Matt has leaned more to the hate. Love. You know what I mean?
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
I watched him develop a whole new layer of hate. I'm like, damn it. Almost had him in the middle, but no, he got a whole new layer. But we'll get through it. We'll get over it. We'll get through it, man. But until then, you look amazing, son. Always and forever. That brother be clean, bro. Brother be clean out there, Joe. You see him, Joe?
Yeah, he looks like he was styled by Finders Keepers.
Hey!
Shout out to our crew. Simon and
out.
Cece and Finders Keepers. Check them out on Instagram. They're
All
good
the time.
people.
So I got this shirt.
You know who they styled, Big Dave?
So I got this shirt, baby. Right there.
Big Dave, you know who they
Finders
styled
Keepers.
a couple weeks ago?
I do, because I told you.
Isaiah Rashad, shout out. Finders
out.
Keepers, love that. An awesome collaboration.
Yes. Look at you.
Three great people.
Yes,
Simon,
come on, Joe.
Cece, and Zay.
Yes.
Joey, I believe we have another trade on deck.
All right. Come on with it. More trades?
Yes.
More
we
trades
do.
going?
Trades on trades on trades.
Hold on now.
I'm assuming you love Matas, by the way.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just checking. I'm sure y'all discussed it, but I'm assuming that.
Like I said, we didn't draft
Hey,
somebody on the
Jason's
Sixers.
bucket of Coors Light is empty.
Very good point.
Yeah.
Cool with that.
That's true. That's true. Very good point. Thank you, Coach.
If you could replace that with something that's not empty, I'd appreciate it.
I like how I was like, hey, Jim, can I get some more water? Thanks. And you're like, give me a whole bucket of beers now.
It's draft night, man.
Shout out Coors Light, baby.
The
draft
Knicks, the New York Knicks have traded.
Again.
26?
26.
Trading out of 26?
Guess who they traded it to? The Thunder.
Ugh. Alex Caruso's new team? No, thank you. I don't care about them.
And they are selecting Dylan Jones.
Dylan Jones
6'4"
from
forward.
Weber State, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's a solid little player.
He's a solid player, plays a little bit bigger than his 6'4" frame, sort of like a forward in a guard's body in that sense. Cleans the glass a lot, high motor player, good defender. So we'll see.
Yeah.
A little bit of a tough archetype in the NBA, but yeah.
For a guy his size, the thing that I love the most about him and our guy Willie Goat Gottlieb's draft database
Shout
with all
out.
those advanced stats, defensive rebounding percentage,
Pretty high.
31%.
That's pretty high. That's up there.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Well done. Shout out to you, sir. I don't know nothing about you, but you're a New York Knicks, so I hate you guts. That's how that goes. That's how
No,
that
he's
works.
not a New York Knick. He's an Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, but
they
he
traded
came
away the pick.
via Nick. He's got, little Nick
Via-
dust on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, just a little bit. So I'll get over it in about 5 minutes.
He'll have that Knicks stench on him.
You don't want that. That's the last thing you want, man. So what's up with the pod, man? Where's the pod going, bro?
That would be
Oh, thanks, Jake.
the famous one over there.
Point that Mr. Melissa over there. Getting her ready, gonna do the pod. Okay.
Yeah, the pod will be back soon.
Did you enjoy the show when we had her on? Like, we had her on the
Yes,
show. That
yes.
was a good one, right? Yeah.
was dope.
That
Like,
was fun.
Usually, I'll watch you guys the next day at work,
Yes, sir.
so I have something to do while I'm working.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But since Melissa's on,
That makes me really happy.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. I'm glad we helping in some kind of way.
I did see that Melissa had a tweet somewhere the other day saying she hasn't even watched her own appearance on our show yet.
Wow.
Hasn't gone
That's
back and
fair.
watched it.
That sounds like me. I don't do that either.
Are you kidding me? She crushed it. If I were her, I'd be like, yeah, look at me. Look at me shining.
If looks could kill right now.
You know what? I'm going to let you get on out of here, bro. I ain't going to mess with you no more, Briscoe. Thank you for coming, brother. Thank you for being here. Shout out, man.
All love to our boy Derek
baby.
Briscoe. Another Bull Podcast.
Let's go.
One of the members of Die Hard Bulls Nation right here, hanging out with us at PBHA. That man.
Come on, Melissa. Come on, Melissa. Come on.
Interesting timing
You
here.
don't have to if you don't want to.
I'm telling that. Come on in, man.
Knicks acquiring picks.
Oh, okay. They're gonna go handle some business. All right. They're gonna handle some business. Get a star ready.
Knicks.
Oh,
That's
okay.
when you're a star, when you got a team with you.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? You a
Hey,
star.
Dave,
You feel me, Jay?
Hey,
got
Dave,
a squad with them.
Where's our makeup?
You're right. We had to get it ready. Look at that. Come on in there. Get
thank
him.
you, Jake.
Get him, Jake.
Thank you,
sir.
Jake.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Have the hot towels ready when you finish.
This
Thank
show,
you.
this is
I appreciate
so I
that.
can tuck
this
it
is
into my
far
shirt.
off the rails.
Yes.
This is far off the
This is
rails.
my favorite part.
It's crazy off the
That's
rails.
when it gets
It's my
fun,
favorite
Joe.
part.
Yeah.
Here she is. Come on in.
Bulls
Miss
Queen.
Melissa.
Bulls Queen Melissa
Hey.
joining us. Grab a headset.
That is for you. What is up? What is up?
The one and only
What
Miss
up, though?
Liz joining us
Miss
here
Liz.
live from PBHA.
Hey.
What's up, Melissa?
I don't even know. I'm just here having a good time with you guys.
Man, thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
And doing this fun stuff.
Absolutely.
So
Never miss it.
how's your night been?
It's been great.
Okay. Enjoying the draft?
Absolutely.
How do you feel about who
Put
we
that
got?
mic a little closer up to your.
Oh, my bad.
There you go.
There you go.
You guys really want to hear my voice?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they do.
Everyone at Bulls Nation wants to hear your voice.
Yes, yes. The Queen wave and all that? Oh, it's too cool. So, do you like
By the
pick
way,
that?
real
Yeah.
quick, guys, the Thunder in that trade to the Knicks, 5 second-round picks going back to the Knicks. So the Knicks gave up 5 first-round
First-round
picks to get
picks. They
McCall
get 5
Bridges. They
seconds.
got
Got 'em right
5
back.
seconds back.
I wonder if AK's paying attention. This is how you
By the
executives.
way, yeah. Hey, Thunder, can we just have 5 second-round picks for a late first? You don't really need them, do you? No thanks.
We don't want picks.
They don't want
We
picks.
don't like
That's right.
them.
They don't want no
Yeah.
picks.
Not
They're like, we
interested.
want players. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Yay.
at least we did make one pick tonight, Melissa. How do you feel about Matas Buzelis?
you know, just watching the highlight reel, which is not a good gauge,
Okay.
it looks like it's promising. You know, we got some passing skills to work on, but I'm happy with it. I didn't really necessarily want to do draft a guard, but
Yeah.
we're here. We're gonna work with it.
Yeah, he's young. He's athletic.
Yeah.
You know, he's the opposite of what I've seen the Bulls actually draft.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And that's why I think I like it, because you're kind of picking the lane when you get this guy. You're like, we're actually going to go young and start over and not keep ramming our heads against the wall and doing the same damn thing over
Right.
again.
Right.
Hooray.
Right.
Hooray.
Right. That's the main point. Just
Yes, it is.
Change.
Check.
Change.
So were you like very staunchly like we have all of the guards don't draft a guard? Is that how you kind of felt coming
I did
into
kind of
tonight?
feel that way.
So like Devin Carter was there on the board, and that's a name that Bulls fans kept hearing over and over and over
Yeah.
again. You're glad that they went Buzelis over Devin Carter.
I'm not necessarily glad, but we gotta work with it, I guess.
Working with what you got.
Yeah, we got
Okay.
it.
Well, that's the
We
sound.
got to pick in, Joe.
A big one.
Minnesota Timberwolves, who
Terrence
already got
Shannon Jr.
wow. Minnesota already got busy earlier on in tonight's draft with that earlier trade.
With Rob Dillingham, yes.
With Dillingham, and now taking the Illini star Terrence Shannon Jr. with the 27th pick. I mean,
Clap
congrats
that,
to Terrence
yeah.
Shannon
Clap
Jr.
him up. Clap him up.
Best of luck to him. He's going and joining a Minnesota team that was this close from being in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
And it's just like Will talked about. He said when they took Rob Dillingham, when they traded up for him at 8, they lacked in that series against Mavericks. They didn't have any other creators next to Edwards. Now they've got Dillingham, one of the best shot creators in the league, and Terrence Shannon Jr., probably the best scorer in college basketball last year. So it's clear what they're trying to do.
Yeah, they letting you know. And I'm just happy for him to actually get this spot, man, because that's a good place to go for him. Anthony Edwards is that kind of same mindset as Terrence Shannon Jr. with how they play the game. A dog, correct. Exactly right, man. So, no, that's a good spot for him, man. I wish him the best out there. He should do his thing, bro.
Yeah. I do love his reaction, though, who we drafted. I do love his reaction. I love that he's a hometown kid.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you have to play with a different type of intensity. You're playing for your hometown,
so he knows what that feels like to do that. And that's why I think you saw a lot of the tears coming out of his eyes and stuff like that.
His reaction was
it even melted Matt's cynical heart when he saw him actually cry. Yes, now even he had to say, okay, look out, it hurt, look out, it's still bothering him. It's bothering him now.
Did it kind of make you tear up a little bit?
Just a little bit.
I can cry if you want me to, but no. I'm going to need a little bit more than that.
Yeah. Just talk about Joe Kim Noah. He'll do it. See what I mean?
That'll make me cry too.
Yeah.
So
Hey, shout out to Joe Kim, who's doing great work on One City here in Chicago over the last couple days.
Absolutely, man.
They had their championships earlier this week.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, I'm happy for Terrence Shannon Jr. I know a lot of Bulls fans wanted him to come here. I feel like the only way that was going to happen is if the Bulls found a trade partner trading down. It did not make any sense to me to take him as high as 11.
Yeah.
And I think we saw it was The Athletic earlier today. They had a mock draft that had the Bulls trading down to 17 with the Lakers. Ended up taking Terrence Shannon Jr. at 17. He ends up falling all the way to the mid-20s.
Yeah.
I think that makes me feel a little bit better about the fact that a lot of Bulls fans were like, Terrence Shannon Jr., you can take him at 11. And I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Happy for him. Glad that he made his way to a first-round pick, but
we got more stuff.
We got more stuff?
Another pick, and it's another pick, another prospect that was linked to the Bulls. This one makes a lot of sense to me. And it's Ryan Dunn going to the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, okay.
Perimeter defense, something the Phoenix Suns desperately need.
They need bodies, period.
They need role players. They need guys that are going to play their role, that are going to defend.
That are breathing, that can
100%.
walk, that can run.
And by the way, they don't have many means to get these guys, so they need to go and get them in the draft. However, they're able to acquire these living, breathing human bodies.
That's very important, though.
They need to go out and get them.
Got to be living and breathing. Got to be both.
Melissa, what did you make of the fact that Woj had a couple of tweets last night, or was it today, when that, it was last night, the Bridges trade goes down, and they start talking about all this, and the Rockets, and this team, and that team.
Do you really want to see my life?
In a trade that had nothing to do with Kevin Durant, Woj was like, here's this trade, by the way, they're going after Kevin Durant. What do you make of that?
Say anything, nothing about
I don't even know.
See,
I don't even
Matt
know.
wants to ruin the day. I was doing great.
I don't even know.
Messing it
I
up.
kind of feel like I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to ruin the movie.
I'll tell you what I did. I liked your tweet when you put up talking about when they made the trade with Mikal Bridges and everything. How you told me they're going to have to play 48 minutes.
Not one. We're begging for just one.
God.
We got all the picks, but we're just begging for one. That's all we want. All we wanted was just one. That is not an even swap.
She's right.
Do you guys think that's not an even swap?
No, it's not. Not at all.
Caruso for Giddey, come on.
And I complained about it on Twitter last night, too, after that trade went down. And there were plenty of people in my comments being like, well, Bridges and Caruso are the same players.
I love
Why are you
That's
playing?
crazy.
And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. If you want to say that Bridges is better than Caruso to some degree, I'll fight you on that.
Sure,
but okay, I'll maybe give you a little bit of leg there.
Right.
It's the 5 picks and a swap.
Absolutely.
And none.
Not one.
Where
Not
is
one.
the middle ground there?
Zero.
Nothing.
Are you trying to say Cruz is better than Bridges? No.
That's not
I wasn't asking for 5 first-round picks
They
in the
had,
swap.
they had like 7,000 picks.
If Caruso went to Villanova, could we at least have gotten like 3 picks? I'm serious. If he went to Villanova, could we have gotten 2 picks?
So are you saying it's those goddamn Texas schools' fault, Joe? Is that what you're saying?
Hook on him, Joe. They hooking him.
No, he's an Aggie.
He's an Aggie.
No, don't matter.
Caruso's
We
an
blame
Aggie.
y'all for everything. Don't matter.
Every college in Texas is the same.
That's right. We blame y'all for everything.
Okay, I'm going to just brush right over that one. Because that was crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. I love Joey's button is always Texas. That's the button right there for him, man. Shout out.
What pick are we on?
But
we
are
are on
pick
29. And actually, I
29.
believe, Joe, the pick 29 is in.
And I love this pick.
Talk to
I
me.
love it.
Tell me, Joe.
I love it a great deal. And it's 29. The Jazz are taking Isaiah Collier.
Wow. Okay.
I
do
just
like
can't
that.
believe that a guy
Huge fall.
Yeah.
that we were talking about going in the top top 3 when
Yeah.
this season started.
Yeah, for real.
And there's a lot of guys that we've said that about tonight that we were talking about going that high, but to fall to 29.
No, he was the first player I heard you mention.
I remember that I talked a lot about Collier early on. I talked a lot about Stephon Castle. He's just good, and what Will talked about, he's athletic, he's big, the guy is built like a fucking tank. It's crazy, and I just think, hey, pick 29, and we're gonna get a guy with pedigree that was a McDonald's All-American in high school and 5-star recruit.
Yeah.
That can't go wrong.
He's
a good pick.
He reminds me of a slightly taller Nate Robinson. Oh, just like tough, muscly guard who can do a lot of shit that will surprise you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
He's a sports star.
Is this the end for Matt's favorite player, Chris Dunn, then? Does he get a shot? Is this the end for him, Joe?
I don't know.
Hey, man, show her your Chris Dunn shot.
Chris Dunn.
That's really good.
That dude
That
shot.
was actually
That
good.
dude. That dude had a season where he shot 19% from 3.
Like a champ.
And I feel like an idiot because in the early days I was like, oh, Chris Dunn, he's good.
Oh, we all felt
I
that
liked
way.
Chris Dunn.
We did, until he broke his face.
Then he fell on his face.
He broke his face dunking the ball. It was over for him
Game
after
over.
that. Yeah, it was done. It
I
was
feel a
done.
little bit guilty because I was at that game where he fell on his face.
Thanks,
You
man.
were? How did you feel? What
About
was
the
it
same.
Matt Cagley's just. That's how he rolls.
It was a rebuilding
Emotionless.
season. It was a rebuilding season.
That's true.
Emotionless guy right there. Yes, man.
I don't know. Like, he's kind of full of emotion, actually.
No, tons of emotion when it comes to certain things.
The hat.
I'm telling you, when you get by the armor, it's nothing but squishiness underneath.
Dave was telling me earlier today about how a friend of his who had never watched our show before, watched a couple of episodes recently, was like, that guy, man, he's like crazy emotional. I was like, well, no, what she doesn't know is that I'm only emotional for 1 hour a day.
This is true.
So let me jump in here quickly with something from
What do we got, Joe?
I'm sure Will can corroborate this at the United Center, but I don't have this from Will. I actually have this from Gary Ross, Gary Rappaporter.
Shout out.
He says Arturas Karnisovas quotes from his presser about Matas Buzelis. I did not plan for this today. I did not expect him to be available at number 11. It just worked out this way.
Well,
I wonder who he's going for then.
Great question. Great question.
true to form,
Like-
AK just making a
Just
decision.
willy-nilly, just whatever happens, happens.
Arturas, we're up. Who do you want? I don't know.
I didn't plan for this.
Wait, Buzelis is there?
It just kind of happened.
Yeah, it's just there.
kinda happened.
I was eating some chips, catching up on Suits on Netflix, chilling. It's like, oh, the draft is tonight? Oh, snap.
Final pick of the first round.
All right, here it comes.
AK reminds me of that like Settlers of Catan player who's like, I want to make the longest road. No, wait, wheat, no, stone. I don't know. I gotta make up my mind.
He don't know, dog. But listen, he got a good player. Like, I think I told you, Buzelis was my favorite guy in the draft, outside of basketball Joey, a.k.a. Reed Sheppard. But outside of him, I just like the way he plays, and I like his irrational confidence.
Yeah.
He talks a ton of shit,
Yeah.
and I enjoy that very much. But the athleticism that he has, the length, the only key is what keeps Matt from wanting to, heap that praise on him.
Yeah.
Is the defense one-on-one and the three-point shooting for sure. The 29% from 3 that he shot.
It's tough.
But I think for me, like, I've seen him shoot. We've seen numbers where he shot, better than that before,
Yeah.
and he's a good free throw shooter.
Yeah.
So I think it'll come, but him and Peter Patton, like
That's
I
what we
said, need
gotta
to get an
look out for.
Airbnb
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
hang out and
Yeah.
then go straight to the gym every day.
I'm saying we should have like lethal shooter on this too. What's up, lethal shooter?
Our guy Will the Goat
We don't
Gottlieb
need
just tweeted a video of the beginning of AK's press conference over at the Advocate Center,
Is it
just
chips
down the
on
road.
his shirt? Is some chips on his shirt?
He appears to be wearing a light blue, whitish button-down shirt. Arturas doubles down on adjusting the roster to begin his media session, saying, quote, it's hard to predict what will look like in a week or two.
Ooh, change.
So,
Change.
hey, AK,
It's coming.
Actually coming?
don't
It's
lie to
coming.
me.
It's on the way.
Don't you dare lie to me, AK.
Do we trust
If you
it?
say that tonight, Zach and or DeMar better be gone 2 weeks from now. Gone.
DeMar being
Gone. Gone.
Another quote from AK from Gary. On acquiring Giddey over draft capital from other offers, it's hard to acquire players that are this young and this productive.
Yeah, again, it ain't about the player. It's about the pit. You got none. That's what it's about.
yes,
It's hard
I
to
think-
keep your job being this bad at it unless you work for Jerry Reinsdorf. But
I agree with that
congratulations,
take,
AJ.
What do
I
they
don't,
have on
I don't hate them.
They got pictures.
I don't hate them taking Giddey instead of a pick in this draft, but how do you forego future picks?
Correct.
That's really what it's
Correct.
about. I can understand them saying Giddey is a 17, 7, and 6 guy.
Right.
He's 21 years old. We like him more than any prospect in this so-so draft, but
Right.
you're not going to go in for a 2028 pick or 20
Exactly.
like that part
Exactly.
that doesn't make any sense.
And see, that's the thing is like Giddey was putting up those numbers on OKC team that was young and bad to okay.
Yeah.
As the Thunder got good, his productivity fell off a cliff.
Right.
His road to
Right,
Venus,
and
for
so
sure.
that's Bill Simmons was talking a lot about this. Like, maybe not Bill. I can't remember whose take this was. It may have been Zach Lowe, but yeah, Giddey got played out of the rotation by a good team. So what does that say about his ability to fit on a true playoff team, a team that's contending?
That's
It's
what I
not-
wanted to know too,
Do you-
because that's
do
what
you-
Giddey was talking about. He said everybody got better and better and better.
Right.
But what does that say about you?
Right.
Like, why didn't you get better and better, better, better?
As the Bulls continue to put pieces around him, you hope that he rises to the occasion rather than somebody that's just he's been passed over by the rest of their talent. But
Sure.
we'll see.
We'll see.
These guys are too young to put a
Yeah.
ceiling on any of them, and
And
we've
he's gonna
seen
have
that,
time to do it.
That's what's clicked for me when watching like Kobe's trajectory,
Yeah.
Lowry Markkanen's trajectory.
Yes.
These guys are too young. They're too talented to say that we've seen enough and this is who they're going to be. And you just never know what a change of scenery might do.
Remember that when Dalen Terry steps on the floor.
For sure. I wouldn't.
Remember that.
And
Just remember that.
It's a little different. And we
remember that.
talked about this with Dalen and Ron Holland, is that like Dalen never had that pedigree and he never had that usage rate in college. But Giddey is a guy that was a top 6 pick. Like,
got that
and so,
dog.
and I listen, Dalen 100%, but I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out hope.
Fair enough.
That's it.
Dalen, you my guy, sir.
Side note,
Can't
did you
wait to
see
watch.
Dylan in that video with James? And
No, with
Yes,
the one
I
with
have.
KD? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I did.
That's kind of promising.
All of it is promising
Yeah,
for me.
I like that.
Everything
All
will
of
be
it.
fine now. Dalen Terry is going to blossom into
See the
sixth
hate?
man of the year
See the hate?
because of a workout video.
The hate. What else he supposed to do? Well, it ain't gonna be the eating chips and sandwiches video. Like, he's gotta work out, man.
Good for him. Go work
You gotta
out.
let me fly.
That's
I'm a
your,
peacock.
that's your job in the offseason. Go work out. We don't need to like fawn over workout videos.
And the final
I'm going to
pick,
fawn over the workout.
final pick of
That's,
the
you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that.
2024 first round is in. The NBA champion Boston Celtics
Boo.
select Baylor Shireman out of Creighton, guard, big guard, 6'6", can really shoot the ball.
Okay.
Can
Wow.
create a little bit of a floor general.
Another shooter.
Longtime player at Creighton. I know. Shout out to Fish. This is Fish's like favorite guy in the draft. I know he was really looking for the
Oh,
Bulls.
I got Fish?
Maybe
Yeah.
to take a later round stab at him, but
He looks like he was arrested for knocking over mailboxes in the suburbs with Doug McDermott.
that's interesting.
Yeah. yeah.
That's very,
Very
But he's not
detailed.
wrong.
That's extremely.
And he
Look at this
also
guy.
went to
Oh,
Creighton.
yeah.
Look at this guy.
Who also
that-
went to Creighton.
That's actually on point.
Why do you think I said
No,
Doug
well
That's on
done.
McDermott?
point.
Good
Well
shooter,
done.
good
That's
size,
on point. A+. Yeah.
high IQ player, long time college career.
Screams Boston Celtics.
He does. He
Screams
does.
Boston Celtics.
He does. He does. I can't even front.
By the
He's
way,
right.
have we shouted out Luke Cornett yet for getting himself a ring?
Shout out Luke Cornett
Shout
for
out
getting
Luke
a
Cornett
ring.
for getting a win.
Robert Horry, on your way to 7. Shout out Luke Cornett.
I mean, he's only 6 shy of truly emulating the great Robert Horry.
Robert Horry? Shout out Stacey King. Shout out Stacey King. Oh, man. The draft, sir.
That's
Round,
30 picks.
round 1 done.
Round
Look
1
at
done.
that. Quick work. And by quick work, I mean it's
Yes.
3 hours and 15
Yeah,
minutes later.
That's
Yes.
taking a long time. I didn't
Yeah.
know it would take that long.
So
Yeah, 55.
That's
thanks to the NBA, I think they're going to truncate the time clock on the round 2 tomorrow.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it
they
should go
better.
faster.
They better.
Truncate. Shout out to Truncate.
Hey. And we will be live for that too. We're not going to be at PB&J, sadly. They didn't want to host it 2 nights in a row. I understand. But the second round actually starts at 3 in the afternoon Central Time tomorrow.
Yes.
So we will be at our CHGO studios headquarters here in West Loop, going live at 3. Just in case the Bulls do something squirrely, jump back into the second round. And either way, we will be there to break down what AK said in his press conference that's going on right now.
Yes.
About Buzelis, about the Caruso-Giddey trade,
Yeah.
all of that jazz.
All of it.
In the meantime, Miss Meliss, tell the people tell the people out there in Bulls Nation what they can do to support what you are doing out there for Bulls Nation.
I mean, you can just follow me. You can follow me at Miss Velis on Twitter and Melissa.Francesca on Instagram.
There you go.
We love the Bulls here. We love these guys here.
We all love the Bulls.
Awesome.
Queen Bliss. We are going to get out of here for the night. Shout out again to the staff of PB&J.
Shout out to the
Thank you, PB&J West Loop, for being our wonderful host for the evening.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody who came and hung out with us here in PB&J tonight at
shout
Bulls
out.
Nation.
Thank y'all.
CHGO
Thank
diehards
y'all.
hanging out.
Thank
Love
y'all.
them so
Yes.
much.
Yes.
Shout out to everybody hanging out in the comments tonight. And, of course, I needed them. Shout out to our friends at Coors Light.
Oh, you needed them. Shout out. Way to
Coors
keep them
Light,
chill.
our presenting sponsor all off-season long, y'all. The draft concludes with round 2 tomorrow, but Coors Light is going to be rocking with us, CHGO Bulls, all off-season long.
Yeah.
They're going to be with us for our NBA free agency coverage that starts on June 30th. They're going to be with us out in Las Vegas in a couple of weeks for NBA Summer League.
Yeah.
Our wonderful friends at Coors Light. Go to CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. Get yourself some Coors Light delivered straight to your door.
Your door.
With Instacart.
I know them.
You know them?
I've heard of them. They're popular. Shout out.
Shout out also, and thanks to our social media coordinator, Emma. Our CHGO GM, Jake, who was hanging out with us here tonight, helping out a lot.
Coach.
Sales guy Jim was here hanging out and helping out tonight.
He's in here. Sarah's in here.
Sarah's in here hanging out.
Sarah's
Shout
actually
out to her.
producing another show while she's sitting in here. Shout out to that work ethic right there. Shout out to the youth.
The grind don't stop.
It don't stop.
Perhaps I'm going to say the biggest thanks, and always the biggest thanks, to our pal producer, Joey Spathis.
Joseph.
Working his ass off tonight
Young Joseph.
for us here on this fun remote show.
Can't do it without you, Joseph.
Follow that guy on Twitter for his sports takes. He's at Joey Spathis. He's a Longhorn.
Shout out to the air conditioner down here that I brought. Shout out.
Can you feel that? Can you feel that, Melissa?
Yeah. Shout out for saving my life. I appreciate you so.
Mine too.
Love to Melissa. Love to our buddy Briscoe who popped in for a hot
Briscoe
second.
was here, baby. Celine was here.
Celine was here. Shout out to our winner of the BJ Armstrong giveaway. Shout out again to our friends at Collector's Cave. Ramina's
Miss
here.
Briscoe's here. Stephanie is here.
We're back
Erica's
tomorrow.
here.
Live, 3 p.m.
Yes.
Central Time. We will be here for round 2 / talking about AK's press conference tonight. In the meantime, Big Dave is at BAWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. We love you so much, Bulls Nation. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, whether here or abroad or wherever you are, hanging out with us in those YouTube comments. We love each and every one of you. We appreciate you. We can't do this gig without you.
Thanks.
And it's a damn fun gig.
Yes, it is.
We'll talk to y'all tomorrow. See you, Red. Be good.
Peace. Love. Yeah.